imitating and copying us to certain degrees, right? But they're not like true innovators. They're just not.
Have very deep conversations about mental illness, genius, epigenetics, and medication. We had that conversation. I made some tofu. I think I won't die. I think it was edible. I have an idea to make some more and be really healthy about it.
Is all tofu edible?
Well, I mean, if I cook it, it might not be.
Oh.
But I did do I think I did an okay job. I put some olive oil down. I threw some spices on it. I swirled it around. It was good. I'm not mad at it. Add some hot sauce. Really good. Next time I'm going to try to add some beans. Garbanzo beans. I think it'll be even better.
What kind of tofu is it?
I don't know. It was white. Are there different colors of tofu?
No. It's the density of it from our farm.
It was from. It was like a block of tofu.
Okay. Did you do anything special before you cooked it, or?
I took it out of the water and then I used a napkin and I dried it a little bit and that was about it. I didn't do anything to it. I don't really know how to cook it. That's the first time I ever made it.
The next time.
Where were you when I did this help? I was asking everybody. Go ahead.
For next time, put a saran wrap over it, and then put a couple of real heavy books over that. And so what it does is that it just squeezes all the water out. And then when you put it in your marinade, it kind of expands and sucks all the marinade back in.
Ooh, I didn't marinate it. I just put it straight into the fryer. And it was okay.
Yeah, you can marinate it with whatever you want. It's kind of like, portable mushroom that gets the flavor of whatever the flavor is. And so this will do that too. So you can make it really delicious with whatever sauce and marinade.
Okay then. Well, now I've eaten and now I have a little bit of a.
با امنیت زندگیشونو بکنن، حتی اگه رأی نداشته باشه، حتی اگه رأی بدن، حتی اگه رأی مخالف بدن یا رو موافق بدن. الان ما داریم نابود میشیم از دست همین طیف سلطنت طلبایی که دارن میگن مرگ اینوری، مرگ اونوری، هر کی کنار ما نشینه مجاهد، هر کی کنار ما نشینه فلانه، هر کی که نشینه. من دوست ندارم کنار تو بشینم. این دموکراسیه. من دوست ندارم. وجود تو باعث مشکله.
Why is my face surrounded by candles, Pastor?
بفرستید پایین لطفاً.
Why is my face surrounded by Why is my face surrounded by candles?
Faster.
I'm just warming up. I decided to cold in my living room. Anybody want pepperoni before the cat converts?
برنج اول بگم خیلی بد امیدوارم صدای من به بدی صدای شما انتقاد بده نکنه. من اتفاقا من این آقای ایدیا رو نمیشناسم، یعنی من شاید بگم اولین بار حرفش رو شنیدم. اینی که افرادم که من از درون ایران هستم نمیدونم، یعنی من میتونم که بگم در درون ایران ولی نیست، ولی صحبت ایشون به نظر من بسیار درست بود. منتها همچون که خودشم با صداقت گفت بودش که ببین من که تخصصم نیست که بیام تمام جزئیات رو بفهمم و بدونم و بتونم به سوالات شما پاسخ بدم، ولی اون چیزی که من حس میکنم امروز جامعه ما میخواد من دارم حس خودم رو میکنم.
Hello, New York. We are bringing you to your doorstep on the 17th and 18th of February. We shall see in Manhattan.
ما به یک مسالمت اجتماعی برسیم بعد از جمهوری اسلامی، به جز این راهی که ایلیای میگه راه دیگه وجود نداره. یعنی اگر قرار باشه بعد از جمهوری اسلامی ما نتونیم شرایطی باشه که گروه‌های مختلف بیان برای قدرت همه با هم مشارکت بکنن. برای چی مشارکت کنن؟ برای اینکه همدیگه رو حذف بکنن؟ خیر، برای اینکه بتونن در پلورالیسم سیاسی با همدیگه رقابت بکنن. منتها این قضیه در لحظه فروپاشی جمهوری اسلامی میسر نخواهد بود، با یه صندوق رأی هم حل نخواهد شد. بنابراین صحبت ایلیای کاملا درسته. این بستره باید قبل از اون به وجود بیاد، قبل از اینکه جمهوری اسلامی به وجود بیاد بستره باید به وجود بیاد که گروه‌های متنوعی بتونن در اونجا با هم دیگه بستره گفتگو، همکاری، همدلی داشته باشن. الان همچین بستره‌ای وجود نیست. اگر بخواد این بستره به وجود بیاد باید یه سازماندهی سیاسی باشه که در اون سازماندهی سیاسی ایلیای به یه سخن خیلی جالبی توجه کرد که حالا تو کانتکست سیاسیش بهش میگن ancient charter، یعنی یک منشوری برای دوران گذار، یک منشوری که در برگیرنده همه گروه ها باشه، همه گروه ها. یعنی شما نمیتونید اینو من دوست ندارم، نمیتونید بگید بعد دیگه آخه مجبوری چیکار کنید؟ حالا با اون گروه ها میکنید چیکار بکنید؟ بعد بکشونشون، چون که هست نمیشن که اونها که هستن. پس بنابراین باید همه گروه ها بشه. منتها گروه هایی هستن که نمیخواهند دموکراتیک باشن، یعنی گروه های کالتی هستن، مثلا مجاهدین. خب مسلمه در اون چون وارد نمیشن که بخواهن با من مشارکت داشته باشن، برای خودشون کالتن و برن دنبال کار خودشون. ولی برخی بسیاری از گروه ها میتونن در واقع در یک منشوری که در واقع همه شمول باشه قرار بگیرن. حالا صحبت زدیم که این منشورات کی بنویسه؟ خب اول بستره‌ای به وجود بیاد تا آدم‌ها با هم صحبت بکنن. یعنی همون صحبت خیلی جالب خانم گنجی برای من خیلی قابل توجه بود که ببینید بیان سوء تفاهم رو مطرح بکنن، یه فضایی بیان که ما رو دعوت بکنن که ما صحبت کنیم. کسی اینجا قدرت وجود نداره که بخواد سهم به کسی بدیم. قدرت الان دست جمهوری اسلامی. پس بنابراین این سهم کشی قدرت یک خطای شناختی به یک مسئله ذهنیه. این ذهن شماست که داره میگه این اومده سهم ببره. کدوم قدرت که دست جمهوری اسلامی. پس بنابراین دوست داریم چجوری ما همکاری هم دیگه تبدیل قدرت بشیم. اسمش از آلترناتیو فرد نیست. مثلا یک فرد آلترناتیو ریپرزنتیو داشته باشه، یعنی یک مدیر، یک رهبر میگه من رهبر این آلترناتیو هست، ولی آلترناتیو یک سیستم سیاسی. ما فعلا سیستم سیاسی نداریم. پس بنابراین باید به جای اینکه به آقای شاهزاده حمله بکنیم، به جای اینکه به گروه‌های دیگه حمله بکنیم، به جای اینکه به هم بپردازیم، اگه دیدیم که این بده اون خوبه، شاهزاده کم زیاده، این بده، فخرآور بده، یکی بده، مجاهد رو بگیریم چیکارش بکنیم چیکارش نکنیم. به جای این خطاهای شناختی و فرافکنی ما باید نگاه بکنیم که اون صحبتی که ایلیان کرد در واقع مغز داستانه چگونه میشه این ترند چارت رو به وجود آورد که دقیقه در برگیرنده تمام نیروهای مخالف جمهوری اسلامی میشه که تبدیل به یک قدرتی بشه جمهوری اسلامی رو ناکام کنه و از طریق این چیز منشوری که اینها با هم دیگه دست دادن قرار دادن نوشتن اون آینده ای باشه برای بعد از جمهوری اسلامی. یعنی این منشوری که الان قلبش دست دادن و دارن در اون مسیر همکاری و همیاری میکنن جوری باشه که در واقع مکانیزم هایش در واقع تولید بشه، یعنی سیستم مکانیزم درست میکنه، سیستم مکانیزم درست میکنه. اون موقع بعد از جمهوری شما میتونید با خیال راحت بگید که ما روش ها مجموعه های درست کردیم که باعث آرامش و صلح جامعه ریکانسیلیشن جامعه میشه و همچنین در برگیرنده نیروهای مختلف سیاسی که حالا با هم میان بشینیم که یک قانون اساسی یا کانستیتوشن رو از طریق یک مجلس مؤسسان به وجود بیاریم. مجلس مؤسسان چی نیست که ما بشکن بزنیم بگم الان من 4 نفرم میذارم تو یه مجلس مؤسسان درست میکنم. مجلس مؤسسان نشون دهنده نماینده اقشار مختلف مردم. خب شما اگر نتونید بستری اون به وجود بیاریم، یک بستری سرکوب به وجود بیاریم، مجلس مؤسسانتون هم مجلس مؤسسان ساختگیه. مجلس مؤسسانی که خودتون و افرادی که دوستانون رو گذاشتین تو قانون اساسی هم خب مگه مثل جمهوری اسلامی دیگه. جمهوری اسلامی میگه چون مگه جمهوری اسلامی مجلس مؤسسان تشکیل نداره. من به شما میگم در شهریور سال 1358 مجلس مؤسسان تشکیل شد و جمهوری اسلامی هم قانون اساسیش از درون مجلس مؤسسان در اومد. خب چی شد؟ چون بلایی این حرفا بنابراین ما از امروز توجه بکنیم که چگونه این نقاط رو پر بکنیم با همکاری شاهزاده با همکاری بقیه تا بتونیم این جریان و اون چیزی که ایلیایی گفتش که مردم این در برگیرنده این شمولگرایی رو طلب میکنن ما رو بتونیم فراهم کنیم. این وظیفه ما که در خارج از کشور این هست. اونا در درون کشور نمیتونن این کار بکنن چون سرکوب میشن. پس بنابراین در کشور آزاد حقه که این مسئله فراهم میشه. حالا شاهزاده میتونه بکنه با بقیه باید کنه. من نمیتونم. من اینجا برای شما یک راه حل جادویی ندارم. ولی اون چیزی که ایرانی به نظر من برخلاف دوستان که گفتن ضد و نقیض بود، من ضد و نقیض ندیدم که حرفش کامل نبود ولی ضد و نقیض نبود. بنابراین من فکر میکنم که اون صحبت ایشون رو فقط اومدم تعریف بکنم که بسیار صحبت به نظر
من از دیدگاه من ضد و نقیض بود حرفش. حالا من از شما سوال دارم. ماشاءالله خیلی زیبا سخن میگید، معلوم هم هست که معلوماتتون خیلی بالاست آقای کوروش و از من خیلی بیشتره. حالا من در پی صحبتاتون از اون سوال دارم. خب از اونجایی که ما میدونیم، حالا من یه چند تا نکته از حرفاتون گرفتم، خیلی دوست دارم جواب سوال بدم. از اونجایی که همه ما میدونیم پهلوی میگه آقا من اصلا کاری به سلطنت ندارم، با تحقیقات شه از این بر باشن چند باشن راست بارها گفته. حالا اینو داشته باشیم. شما مثلا میگید که ما خیلی بخوام با زبان عامیانه و بخوام منظور شما رو متوجه شدم بگم اینه که شما به دوره میز بشینین هممون به در مورد آینده و یا قانونی و چه اتفاقی بخواد بیفته و اینا صحبت بکنیم. سوال من از شما اینه رضا پهلوی با کی میخواد بشینه دور اون میز؟ با خانم مسیح علیرضا؟ saying to you, you're defending their action. No, I'm not defending their action. What I'm saying to you, questions. You don't know shit. No. I'm trying to ask questions based on what you're saying. So to get back to what we're talking about. You of course. You said my turn. Yeah, of course. Listen. My turn. Did Hamas say what we did? We fucked up. Yes or no? Not in those terms, but yes. No, hold on. Did Hamas say it? Yes or no? Yes, I said not in those terms. You're paraphrasing. There's no discussion. No, so if there's no discussion, why say it? If Hamas said it, then that's it. We're done. Are you willing to discuss, or are you not willing to discuss? What are you willing to do? I will tell you. I'm not willing to defend Hamas. Okay, wrong. So if you're not willing to discuss, then why say it? Edward, you defend what you don't want to discuss, or do you not want to discuss, or do you just want to talk? What do you defend Hamas? No, don't tell me what I want to do. Let's discuss it, and you figure out what I want to do. Or what I'm about. You want to defend what Hamas are making against Israel? How do you know? How do you know I'm going to defend it? We haven't discussed it yet. You're going to tell somebody when you're debating, you're going to say, we're not going to debate anymore because I know this is what you're going to say, and then here I'm right because this is what you're going to say. Okay then. Edward, this is the guy, this is the problem with this guy. I gave him a scenario. If I'm resisting against a criminal in this case, it's wrong. I want to go back to the conversation. Edward, this is the guy. He's not your fucking rule. Why are you cussing my show? Thank you. He's cursing me out a little bit. Okay, there you go. So, by the way, this is the same idiot. These are the fake people, right? He talks about, okay, fuck Hamas, sure. And then he wants to talk about my grandfather who dedicated his life from the age of 14 to serve the Palestinian people. And he would sit in the audience, you have to come off the fucking mic every 2 seconds, and you have to speak and suck his dick, right? Sit in the audience like a little cunt you are. Fucking old fart. Fucking bitch. So they gave me booty claps for the fucking Zionist comeback. So booty claps for it. Here's the minimum. Here's what he said. The minimum risk that Hamas should have accounted for, and this is an argument I've heard before. The minimum risk they did account for, and what they're talking about is the risk that they did not account for, which is what? It's genocide, which is a risk. When you're doing a risk analysis, it's something outside the scope of the operation. It's not something you would account for. No one accounts for genocide when they're planning an operation. This is a fallacy. And so you cannot believe this on fallacy. So Hamas saying we don't, there are things that we did wrong, or we should have done differently. That's hindsight. That's not them saying we failed. Because they did not fail. It was Israel that failed. He said, look, if I'm attacking a Zionist entity, right, I should know prior to resisting that this entity is going to genocide my family, right? So I should know that, and let's say if they do end up genociding my family, and I come out all of a sudden, I'm crying that, I fucked up this and that, you're going to use that against me? So that's the thing, how would you know genocide is even on the table? You wouldn't know that the genocide is because it's not on the genocidal regime. No, they've done this before. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, have they done this before? Have they genocided? Israel has responded disproportionately every single time, and the number of deaths in Gaza have increased year after year. Operation is operation. That tells you that there's never been an attack as big as October 7th. So one could reasonably deduce that if our attack is this big, then they're going to respond in a genocide. It's getting worse. That's what you're saying. The reaction is worse. Yes. Exactly. So you can... Hello? 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 The response will be akin to genocide. before Israel, it was March. No, we're not talking about Israel and Egypt. We're talking about Hamas.
Let me announce rhetoric is one step away from science. Yes, of course. Sure. Okay, you're dealing with a murderous regime. It gives the justification to slaughter people. I didn't say it was justified. Yes, you did. Yes, it is. No, I didn't. You sure did. When I justified it, your narrative justifies the actions of the Israelis. No, it's not. I'm not justifying a genocidal regime that if you go to Mary, you get genocided. In what fucking world? In what I'm not justifying. No, I'm not justifying. No, I'm not. I'm not saying with no.
I'm just convinced that you guys are misogynists at this point. So, Benny, have you taken risk analysis at all?
I actually have a real long time ago.
Okay, so you know what a black swan is. You know how to do like a risk assessment. I mean, you may not remember exactly, and I don't either, but we know the basic idea, and you account for all as many variables of the
Possible repercussions. Yes.
Now, and then you're trying to make it possible.
It's possible for Israel to commit genocide.
Wait a minute. In your risk analysis, okay, you cannot, and you know this from taking the course, you cannot account for all risks. That's it.
You have to account for as many risks as you can as you possibly can. Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think prior to October 7th, do you think that it would be reasonable to assume that Israel would commit a genocide?
No, because genocide is so horrific, you would not assume that Israel put itself in a position that it would literally change the entire narrative of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You wouldn't assume this. You would assume that Israel would come in. You would assume that Israel would
What does the United Nations have to do with this? Israel has been ignoring the United Nations. Israel has been ignoring the United Nations since its launch. I know, but as a member of the United Nations, you do not say.
Hello?
They have been ignoring UN resolution rules and the Geneva Convention and all kinds of resolutions.
So here's how
So it's reasonable to assume that Israel is going to follow international law. It's not a reasonable assumption to assume that Israel is going to follow international law.
Let's go with that. Let's go with what you said, Benny, about Israel's responses keep getting worse, right? So you would graph that out. Israel's responses keep getting worse. So you would go with, okay, if we do an operation, we expect the response to be worse than what we've had before. Correct? We can agree on this?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Okay.
So risk analysis, okay? You said that Israel has responded disproportionately every time.
As a hero, that's something I think we saw.
This is correct, right? I agree with you. We have. And then at the same time, they have continued even during, times when Palestinians have not been fighting or peacefully protesting or, things have been calm. They've continued to kill, right?
Yeah, but on a much smaller scale.
Smaller scale, right? So we can logically say that Israel will break international law because they have done so, correct? We can reasonably say that, doing an operation on October 7th, what Hamas did, would bring about a stronger reaction from Israel. We can reasonably say this, right?
Actually, not only that, I remember looking into this once. If you look at the proportion of how many, after every
15 minutes ago.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I think they are proportional in terms of how many people they've killed. So the 70,000 number is probably equal to the proportion historically.
Okay, so
Right.
wait, hold on. Let's see if it was. Is this measured linearly? Which you are measuring linearly, right? And is when you increase the number of people that you kill, is that risk linear? Because it's not linear, right?
If you graph it in a linear manner, you
Which
would
you're
probably
doing.
get to the number. Yeah. If you graphed it in a linear manner, you would probably get to the number.
Yes, okay, I'll go with that.
And in addition to that, whether it's a genocide or not, is not the point. The point is the mass atrocities and the mass number of deaths.
Okay, if you did the same thing, and let's say instead of 1,200, Palestinians killed 12,000, then linearly, then they would have killed pretty much everybody, all 2 million people, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's how you're graphing it, right? So what I'm saying is, okay, but you can't graph linear because as you're going up in numbers of how many, like for Israel, how many people that they're killing, the risk to Israel, politically and diplomatically, and other risks also go up. So it can't be graphed linearly. And Hamas would not have graphed it linearly. It would not have graphed 70,000 plus killed.
Yes, it is safe to assume that we've never killed this many Israelis before, that this operation is going to be so massive and so groundbreaking that the response from Israel will be equally as massive and groundbreaking.
Yes, but what they've done is it will be larger.
Yes, this is something you have to take into account.
But not genocide. Not to the point of genocide.
Whether it is genocide or not, it's still a mass atrocity and a huge number of deaths.
You understand, the larger the number that Israel kills, the harder it is for them to justify. So it's not linear for Israel as a military force. It's not linear for any military on the planet. They don't think that linear decision when they're in a war.
It's still disproportionate.
I agree.
Yes. Okay. So if you're gonna go in and kill and abduct over 1,000 people, right? And you know also that whatever you do, there's a hell of a directive, and whatever the Israeli government does will also be blamed on you. This is something to take into account in a risk analysis. That even if you don't kill those people, the Israelis do, you're still gonna get blamed for it. So as a right of the Israeli government and the Israeli public, they want a response proportionate to that.
And what would be more Israel's risk analysis? What would be Israel's risk analysis?
Israel's not the one that committed the
No. They definitely did a risk analysis as they're going in, in response to this. They were
Yes. They were risk analysis. And if they could have killed more people, they probably would have.
Well, so the thing is though, would that be, or I should say, would Hamas understand that Israel would go and kill 70,000 people? Because you can't say 70,000 is equivalent proportionally to 7,000 people.
Really, very expect it to be 10,000 deaths.
Just spam it with a flick of my wrist.
By the way, it's not only October 7. I used to talk about how Israel is trying to instigate a global war because in a world war, they are able to, under the cover of everybody being distracted, kill a lot of people and take a lot of land.
That's true. I mean,
That's what it is.
I have many members of the
So I'm already working under the assumption that Israel is willing to and capable of killing a lot of people and taking a lot of land. And that's when the population of Palestinians, I was taking into account the West Bank and Gaza. So yeah, the number was in the millions in my mind. So if I could account for that, I'm sure you're not scared.
So you're telling me that every military operation that the resistance does with Israel, we should have accounted for genocide.
Wait, I want to know what that means, Benny. Are you accusing Hamas of wanting to genocide its people?
What does that mean? No.
If I'm not saying that, then what are you saying?
I'm not saying that they want to do it. I'm saying that they should have recognized. Now listen, I'm not making a value judgment call. I don't know if it should have been done. It doesn't matter. Shut the fuck up. I don't fucking fucking like that. Listen, you cussed my mom in the other fucking room, and I'm not gonna fucking stand for that shit. Come on now. Don't fucking cuss my mom like that. Don't fucking call me a bitch like that. We're having a normal fucking conversation. You can't have a fucking conversation. Get the fucking fuck out. Let's have a conversation. Okay. Prince, let's keep it civilized. Prince. I'm like, Prince. Let's keep it civilized. Come on. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's keep it civilized. We're having a good conversation. It's okay. We can have that shouting match, but that, don't follow that idiot that was in here. What was it? Just don't follow his path. We know Benyaza for a while. It's okay. He's questioning everything.
Here's Prince. Here's what you tell me about this. So when you're doing a risk analysis and you're going to assume that the other side is going to kill more.
Please check your messages, please.
Now, as the you're doing your analysis, you're going to come to a point when you're going to say, okay, they will not go past this line, or we're not going to we're not thinking of genocide. We're not thinking of they're going to starve and say to the world, we're going to starve the Palestinians, take away their water, medicine, everything. Do the kinds of things that they have done in the videos that have come out from Gaza of the IDF. I highly doubt that this was in Hamas's risk analysis. These are things that are outside of the scope of the risk analysis.
Predicted a brutal response.
Brutal, right?
But nothing like we've seen. So anybody saying they saw this, I've known Benyaza before October 7th, and he did not even foresee this, so he's full of shit, and he's
When am I the one talking about how Israel wants to instigate a world war in order to enter that guys, go in, slaughter Palestinians, millions? I used to say millions, and take a land, the West Bank and Gaza. I used to say that. No, shut the fuck up. I did say that. Yes, I did say that.
No,
I said that several times. Yes, I have said that several times. Okay, I'll bring all the ask everyone who's baptized. Guys say this thing all the time, and he's agree with me. Look at him, ask him. I've been saying this for years. And this is not even like a difficult analysis to come to. You listen to them. You listen to communists. What they say is we fucked up in 48. We left 20% of the population. We didn't take all the land. That's what they say.
Yeah, we know all that.
Okay, so you know that that's what they say. How are they going to rectify that mistake?
No one predicted that the Israelis would defy international law the way they did, defy the world in the way they did, not care about the poverty.
Oh, no one predicted that Israel would defy international law? Really?
No one did. No one predicted that they will.
No one predicted that the most extreme government in Israeli history, would follow in the trajectory of not following international law, not allowing the right of return, occupying land, taking land, right, colonizing land, killing people disproportionately, right, blockading Gaza, starving people, putting them on a caloric diet. No one predicted? Really? Why are you lying to yourself?
It wasn't predicted. It was planned.
Never said the thing you said.
Stop. Yes, actually, I agree with you on that one.
Everybody was surprised with what the Israelis said over 7. Stop it.
Honestly, I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, okay,
No, man.
you're the smartest.
I know I'm not. I'm just an observer.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Like, if you can't understand what you're dealing with, then you shouldn't be in a resistance game. I'm sorry. If you don't know the Israelis until now, they occupied you for 75 years. If you don't know what they're capable of until now, then you don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. You're definitely lost.
Because you
Really? You don't know that these guys are willing to slaughter on a mass scale? You don't know that these guys don't apply international law? Really?
even if they did, no, that's not their fault.
Palestinian and many other nationalities are saying we were surprised that they did the genocide. So your claim, Jonah and many of them, is that no, it was obvious from before. To us, it was not. So
That's because media has brainwashed people.
no, it's not
It's
about
propaganda. They just normalize dehumanizing Muslims and Arabs in general, which include Palestinians. It's as simple as that. It's propaganda from day one, from before any of us here were born.
Oh, irresistible.
Unionization is a political act every country does. Actually, the genocide, that's an act only Nazis happens like once in a that's a very random event that like some politicians do not consider possibility. Like for example, if I walking outside of my house, I do not expect sun come down on me and like that's a very random event. You know what I mean?
You think dehumanization? That's planned, projected, and executed for many, many decades now. It's not something that randomly happens. And there are very few powers. There are very few powers
Crumble up into
over mainstream media, which is why so many of Israel would be doing this. No, it was, but just people didn't know how bad it can be.
Again, you're not getting my hope. Organization, yes, that everybody does it. Like most of this colonial system dehumanize. That's how they operate. Like genocide is something that normal human beings are not capable of.
Anyone claiming that anybody can predict the genocide in 2023 is full of shit and a liar. Unless the entire globe is in chaos, then yeah, genocide can happen. But at times of global peace,
2023, did you say?
doing a genocide on live television, on Facebook and Instagram is not predictable. And I don't believe anybody who claims they predicted it.
Thank you for his letter.
Whether it's called, okay, if you were put yourself in the position of Hamas, right, or an analyst in Hamas, a risk analysis, right? Analyst.
What have you done?
What do you think? Let's assume that you're going to kill and abduct 1,500 people. Under that assumption, what would you predict Israel's response to be? And the casualties of their pursuit wouldn't be linear. Based on historical data, based on the fact that Israel is more right-wing than Arabs were, based on the fact that they're unnecessary power, based on the fact that you know the kids speak it and all that stuff, and you can read their media and you can see what Kitover is doing, and you can see what Kitover's doing, and you can do all these things. Based on the fact that you have lots of information at your disposal. Based on all of these facts, and I go on the trajectory of Israel, what would you assume conservatively and liberally, because that's what it's assumption. Prince, I know I'm putting you in a corner here, but I want you to assume, give me a conservative estimate and give me a literal estimate of the number of casualties, right? The number of deaths, the number of displacements, and the loss of infrastructure.
I will give you that.
It wouldn't be linear for many of them. Okay, what would it be? I'm saying it wouldn't be linear. We have to stay out of this. Okay, so do it however you want. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. Listen, I agree with you. The number would be large. Okay, and what does that mean? Hold on. What does that mean? Hold on. What I'm saying to you though, where I disagree, is okay if Israel killed about 100 people to one Palestinian, one Israeli to 100 Palestinians, right? And if that has been the norm, let's say, then if we, October 7th, if we kill 1,000 of them,
coming here and using people
there'll be 100,000 people, right? However, their response out, as more people, more Palestinians would be killed, there would be more resistance to such a thing in Israel, and more resistance from the outside community, from the international community. There'll be more. Also, there'll be more resources taken up by Israel, more money spent. So this is what I'm saying. It's not like you can sit and say, okay, they would have killed 100,000 people. It's not that simple.
Correct. Okay. So again, I'll ask you the question one more time. If
You don't have to ask it because it's not linear. But
I didn't say it has to be linear.
oh, then if it's not linear, you
I didn't say it has to be linear. I'm saying, put yourself in the position of someone in Hamas, right?
you want to win so badly.
You're unwilling to acknowledge. You know what? I understand the facts are hard. I understand that the facts are hard. And by the way, I'm not even making a value judgment. I'm not saying that's what the facts are. Not necessarily. Oh, yes, I have no honor, no pride, no lineage. You're not a real hero. You're a real veteran. You don't belong here. You're fucking Canadian. All that shit. Dude, shut the fuck up. I know I
say,
Yes, I know what I'm doing. Let's keep it calm. Let's not release yourself.
Wait, I want to understand. What do you mean he's not?
Yeah, I don't know. This guy's so good. I'm serious. I'm serious, but he said I'm not here. Why? Because I'm Canadian. Not as serious.
Okay, guys.
I'm not serious. I'm not serious.
I have a question. Guys,
I don't think that's what I'm going to serious next month.
Stop it.
Well, my God. Less apart from the point what's actually is personally. Come on, man.
Yeah, let's not make him crash out.
No, Prince doesn't know how to talk the point. Prince doesn't do that. It's just not simple.
How would you come up with the number?
No, my problem with you is you think you are right. You think you are intelligent. You think you know it all. You don't know shit, dude. Okay, I don't know shit. Fantastic. I don't know shit. But you know what?
I know what it is.
It's not to know shit.
I think I know what the issue is. You don't know it. I know it because they're reducing the genocide to statistics and numbers. Like, who the fuck cares about the numbers? Whether it's linear, whether it's, who cares? It's a genocide, period, and that's it.
Karnak, sorry, I'm using your old name, Davis. Where the argument really started where it was, the claim was made that, and not by Benny Goy here, but by someone else, that Hamas should have predicted the genocide in their risk analysis. And I'm making the claim that that would be what's considered what's called a black swan, something that you would not
I understand the black swan, but do you think someone at Hamas is going to be sitting down on a drafting table, calculating the risk assessment?
Yeah, of course, yes, they would. They would do it.
Yes, they would. Absolutely.
Yes, but they would not count on a genocide because that would be outside the scope of the risk profile.
Whether it would be labeled a genocide or not is not the point.
That's not counting on going out.
Genocides are deemed genocides like decades later. The point is, how many casualties are we expecting? How many deaths are we expecting? How much infrastructure destroyed are we expecting? How many refugees? These are the different characteristics. There's other factors as well, right? However, these would be the four basic factors.
Okay, what's Israel's risk tolerance? Benny Adam, what's Israel's risk tolerance for bad publicity? What was it before October 7th?
Did you know?
No. They would hide what they're doing. They don't want other people to know.
When Trump was around, Trump came, nothing was hidden. Things were even then.
2023 were killed.
So what Benny's basically saying, that using risk analysis, surely one could predict that Israel, especially with like the history and the freaking coming of Trump, who was this figure of flamboyance,
this extreme openness with whatever the fuck he was doing, that they would surely they can predict such an event, such as a mass killing of people for Palestine. However, I think that I don't think I think it was not expected. I think we as a human community didn't think
It was Biden in power. It wasn't Trump.
Right, prior to him.
Yeah, prior to, but this happened in 2023.
Right, so I think Trump did put the stepping stone off, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And this kind of became this, rolling stone. And it started to collect mass, such that at some point one could predict that a mass killing of a people is very much possible, right? I'm not saying Hamas or any other body should have predicted this, but prediction of such a thing is very much possible. We did not expect it go through with it.
And you're contradicting. If you didn't expect it, then you wouldn't predict it.
You can predict it.
No.
You cannot expect its reality.
No, what you would expect and what a Hamas member would expect are not going to be the same thing.
That would be
They're the ones living through it. You're the worst part.
But also we know.
They are living in the shit.
We know how the control that they had. They go to great lengths to have control over the media. They go to great lengths to spin things so that they don't seem as bad. Settlements are neighborhoods, not settlements. They hide things.
Atrocities in the process.
But then they go a 180 after October 7th. They do a 180, and now they're not hiding anything at all. That's not
hiding a lot. No. If they were hiding anything, they would have allowed.
I'll take that statement back. I'll take it back. I'll say.
They don't know the level of atrocities yet.
No, true. But we also would not have expected that Israel would show us so much after October 7th. So I don't believe, and I'm not trying to defend Hamas. I'm just simply saying that I cannot imagine Hamas or anyone in the world putting in the risk analysis if something like this were to happen, that Israel would commit a genocide. Would talk about how they are going to starve Palestinians and do it on purpose and go after and kill fucking reporters and hospital workers and destroy most of the hospitals.
All of these things would work.
No, at a very small scale.
Yeah, I understand.
The larger the scale, the more dangerous it becomes for Israel.
Yes, but because of October 7th and the scale of that, they can justify that they can do all the things that they have been doing before, but on a bigger scale.
It's just like a game of poker. He's gonna bluff and in the end he's gonna go all in eventually. So they just played it like that, like a game.
Like Israel did not do a single thing, by the way, in the last 30 years. They did not do a single thing that they haven't done before. They just do it on a bigger scale.
The scary thing is that they're just getting started, by the way. This is just a...
I mean, like in a game of poker, you're not allowed to kill the dealer. That's not...
They don't care about international law, man. They don't know what you're allowed and not allowed. They're chosen.
But, I mean,
They are the game, they are the cards, they're just playing it all.
Like Mexico, you're not allowed to kill the dealer. I know what Benny's trying to say. I understand this. I just don't think that it would be reasonable for anybody to predict Israel's response to this extent. We would predict a response in anyone.
No one addressed my comment on Trump, who started the free and slow war and started collecting mass of the vendor. He set the freaking standard for shameless, flamboyant.
He not only contributed to it. That's true. But listen, man, I've said it before, I'll say it again. When I found out about what happened on October 7th, my first reaction was, what the fuck is Israel going to do now? Because that's it. Cards have been lifted. Rules are off the table. They're going to do what?
I think that October 7th was premeditated. I mean, they knew about it beforehand.
I didn't
Yeah, I believe so as well, very much. Yeah.
I have a quick question. So, do you think Iran is the last stand between Turkey and Great Britain?
No, Turkey. Turkey's next, but that's, Turkey is much harder than Iran.
Iran is a middle path.
Much harder. If they could even get through with it.
Turkey and Iran in order to accomplish Greater Israel. Is that a statement?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be the grand finale of them all.
And then if you got down with Turkey and Iran, then Egypt and Saudi Arabia will be fine.
I mean, those are follow-ups. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They haven't even been able to handle Lebanon. I don't know. They haven't been able to even handle Lebanon yet. Forget about
I don't know. What do you mean?
What do you handle? They're involved with enough freedom.
Lebanon is the story, dude.
What are you talking about?
Hezbollah is still.
The fact that they're giving up.
Yeah, sure.
Not giving up on their mountains, sure.
Iran is not giving up on the his, bro. Look at him.
Guys, you are really.
Hezbollah's been destroyed, bro. Come on. I think Hezbollah is going to surprise us, to be honest with you. I have a feeling.
Guys, you really are not on that.
So, everyone's risk assessment right now, talking about.
Actually, why not?
Well, here's the thing, Davis, my guy Davis, let me tell you.
Wait. I hear something about David. I changed my name. I wanted David.
Change it in the.
Fingers, that's my name, David.
You told us already. You told us.
Change it back to David.
Change it in the alias.
Yeah, people told me that.
I can't. It won't allow me.
So Hezbollah, the problem with Hezbollah is they have weapons that they have shown. They have huge caverns underground filled with missiles that are way more advanced than what
They have WMDs as well as WMDs. I just found out. This is only coming from me. I know it. That's how some of the Iranians speak. Only they know what's happening.
Well, no, factually, though.
There was an Iranian that came in here a couple of days ago.
Factually, they did. I mean, everybody knows that, that Hezbollah has these weapons. I mean, we've seen videos of that, them driving trucks.
Oh, they have WMDs. What are you talking about?
They have hundreds of thousands of missiles.
Hey, Judy, how you doing today? Let's talk to Judy. Please no cursing. Judy, please. Prince and other people, please no cursing. Judy, welcome to come up. I do have some questions.
This line, I did not curse.
Yeah, I do not. I do have some questions for you. If you come up, and I'll make sure nobody attacks you or nothing. We're just gonna have this conversation back and forth.
Don't worry, I will spread some love in the room.
Yeah, hope you're doing good, Judy, and it's a weekend. And I think Buttercup is gonna follow you. She's gonna come right in. As soon as you come up, Buttercup probably wants to come up as well. But I think I have to keep the Buttercup down in the audience because she keeps coming and she wants to come in the middle and try to derail the topic.
So I don't really think his would have some sort of.
So,
I don't.
Hezbollah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't have any facts. What happened to all these weapons in these underground cities?
Hold on. Let's analyze it.
We don't know. That's the thing. And Hezbollah has gone along with this narrative very, a little too easily. In my opinion.
Reaction, man. Would you like not?
We have to figure we're weakened. We're severely weakened, and I don't know. I don't feel like Arabs.
Right, but you're not associated with coming down of Nasrallah?
No, Nasrallah was just a figurehead. That's all he was at this point. He wasn't anything more than that.
Nasrallah was a leader or whatever.
I know, but he took over, from his previous predecessor that was assassinated. Nasrallah is
not very long. I thought Nasrallah, dude, Nasrallah became a cult of personality there long.
Yes.
Okay. When you talk about the brand, the image, that's a different story. I'm only talking about the military. I'm saying the military itself, all these weapons are still there. So that gives me pause.
when they killed that mob.
Soldier, how long did he stick around? Like a year?
Yeah.
2 years max.
Yeah. No, the struggle didn't do a lot. He
I just want to give you guys a heads up. Edman in the audience, he's an Iranian. He's a Reza Pahlavi supporter. He records my rumors. So if you guys need some sort of a clip, you can, approach him. He has a whole bunch of clips of my rumors. I did rent free in his fucking head. He got moved down one time, and he's so sensitive. Some of the Iranians are very fucking sensitive. They get triggered, they don't want to come back up. Edman, come up. Otherwise, you're welcome to get lost out of the room.
And Judy, if you want to come up, is Judy still here?
Judy, you're welcome to come up. Let's have that conversation.
No one will ask you. Everybody was being quiet.
She's not in the room anymore.
She's not.
No, she left, okay. Buttercup is sitting in the audience with the anonymous account. Is that you, Buttercup?
So what do you, what's your prediction or risk analysis effort?
On the Hezbollah, I don't know. I just feel like they're laying a fence, like there's something going on there that, because they're in coordination with the other resistance groups, so I don't know. And they take orders from Iran too, so I don't know. I just know that all these very sophisticated weapons and drones have not been used, but they are, and they were underground. We know Israel cannot reach them that far deep underground. We know this from Gaza. So that's the big question. They have all these weapons, and what happened to all the people? How many people did Hezbollah have in Lebanon? Over 50,000, right?
How come they're muted now, though? There's no response.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
But do you think the Hezbollah might have experienced a kind of turning back on them from Iran in some sense, because Nasrallah's end didn't seem to be that much of a dramatic event, or even they didn't achieve any responsiveness from Iran. Or do you think they're working behind the curtains with each other?
I still think they're working together. I think Iran is working with all these proxies.
There was a recent shipment of weapons. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I think Gold told me about it about a month ago. 4,000 weapons came to Syria into the hands of Hezbollah or whatever. I don't know. The Syrians, they're easy to bribe. Anyway, it's easy to bribe, right?
Well, Syria is a large territory.
Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in the Levant.
Well, I mean, it's a large territory, and you can get from Iran to Lebanon fairly easily. Because of the terrain, because of the government doesn't have full control over the entirety of the country, from would it be north to south or east to west, from top to bottom, when it comes to the top of the Iranian border or Turkish border down. I don't know. It's not a welcome. I shouldn't say well. The Syrian government doesn't have the resources to control its borders completely.
Why must?
Sorry, what was the question earlier?
Why do you honestly think Hezbollah still, has it?
So I guess the logic is this: we know that there are hundreds of thousands of missile sites. These are Israeli facts. Second, we know that they are not giving them up. Third, I think we can assume they are not gonna sign a deal with Israel without Iranian permission. So put these three things together, and you know that they are as dangerous as ever. It's just that they are right now, for some reason, laying low.
Because I tell a story will change with this.
But they also deal with Lebanese politics. They also have to consider Lebanon too.
That doesn't matter if you're powerful and if they handle that. They've done it for whatever years. Why I'm asking you this is because the entire storyline is going to change. Because you actually have a freaking very powerful, strong, hidden enemy who's going to combat if you're giving Hezbollah that kind of leverage.
Yeah,
it seems like
that's the whole point.
I don't have answers to these questions.
I'll be fine.
None of these None of these proxies have gone anywhere. They're just laying low.
Yeah, that's what I've been
Nothing.
But the Iraqi one has, what are they called? I forgot what it's called.
These Houthis are full
Houthis,
control.
I
Iraq
always
is
told you guys don't underestimate the Houthis.
But the Houthis is one, but the Iraqi resistance has been building up forces and training and weaponry, and that's going straight across from the Iranian border to Iraq.
So if you really want to understand from a poker standpoint, Iran is just playing blind now. Just folding all the hands. I mean, I don't know why, but they're not playing. So they're just like imagining.
They have internal issues with it, and that's why. When you have internal issues and you focus enough,
They're waiting for something else.
they're very problem. Yeah, they're waiting for savior.
No, I mean, if you have
But they've always done this, Iran.
will be like,
They've always been methodical.
no, think about
It's
poker.
not methodical anymore. It's blind.
You let everybody like kill each other, and then one opponent left, then you stop playing. That's what you're supposed to do.
They resign.
If you have enough cash in hand, you just play blind, you know? Like every time is you just fold all of them.
They're like whatever.
I think an attack from Israel, Iran would see it as that would be the best thing for Iran and the government.
Yeah, it's just not something that.
Israel, very good. There was some leaks or some talk about Israel.
Iran, I'm telling you, Iran is waiting for this October 7
Yeah, they're not gonna
finish. So once Israel goes out of favor, it's only Iran and US. Then they will play.
So here,
China, don't forget China supporting Iran. They sent 16 cargo planes, military support.
No, see, everything is on hold for this drama in Middle East to just shut down. So when Israel accept that it's over, they have lost the war, they have achieved nothing, and they become quiet. Whenever you hear nothing from this, you can see Bibi Netanyahu was not part of that, so he's going to prison. So once he's in prison and everything is calmed down, that part of it, then Iran will start praying. Up to that time, I don't know when that will be, but it's probably like close because Netanyahu is going to prison. You saw that.
He's not going to prison. He's not going to prison.
It was not part of that. So
No, but you're not getting so in the Knesset, they're in the process of passing a law where he can get away with it and still resign. Or so it's there like the first stage. So there's I think it goes through 3 different stages. It has to be approved 3 times or something. That's some stupid bullshit policy they have. Once it gets approved, by these 2 other parties or whatever, they will have the bill where he can resign and he doesn't have to accept the guilt. But with Herzog, the president of Israel, he says he's gonna have to accept the guilt, then I can pardon it. So he did promise to pardon. So if he pardons by him accepting the guilt, all it's gonna do is he's just no longer gonna be able to be a prime minister. That's about it.
he will be neutralized.
Yeah, but he's not gonna go to jail. But they're all psychopaths. They're all gonna be
Iran is still on watch, right? So if you go to prison, it's only for one day. Nobody cares about that. The point is that you'll be neutralized. You will be out of Israel politics. He's the actual fix of David. He's the only person who can unite all these crazy maniacs into one force. When he's around, then Israel will tell left because nobody can unite these crazy people.
That's not true, man. They're all psychopaths. Even the libyans are psychopaths.
I know, but somebody should unite psychopaths.
No, they really unite because there's a coalition. I think they're working together. It's just a matter of time. If Netanyahu was to go out, I think then was he that was telling me something to the coalition or somebody to pick up the leader, and they're going to pick up people like Bengali or some Woodbridge or something. Some pieces of shit. If that happens, West Bank is gone. West Bank is fully gone.
So that's again an analysis, but I don't think because whenever Netanyahu is not there, they cannot create coalition. He's really literally the asshole of the party. He doesn't have any moral value. The other ones have moral value. People with moral value, they cannot really unite each other.
That's why the military military. You have to be extreme.
Okay.
I shouldn't say moral value, because like those think of it, I don't consider their values as moral, but they do have some value. People who believe in something, normally they cannot, get united with other people who believe in something. So you need somebody which doesn't believe in anything to unite these people. And that is the role that is in a time of place.
Reluctant to face.
And once he's out, one is specialized. So basically, you have Israel as a country which cannot function
their apathy.
goes to a cycle
And what is our
of
response?
like trying to
We preach the will of the force, but ignore its cries and call that balance. We serve the will of the force, not the shifting winds of politics. How many times have we spoken that phrase? It's become our answer for everything. A quiet absolution for doing nothing at all. The Jedi are no longer what they once were. You serve a Senate that no longer serves the people. And still, you preach of patience while the galaxy burns. Nor have I weighed this decision. Longer still have I waited for change. My place here ends where I must act where you will not. I seek only to serve the galaxy, to pursue a course that restores what you hesitate to defend. May the force grant us clarity, for I fear to lose this order.
Why? You don't see how these like things work. There is a talent that he has that he can unite. Like the right wing of Israel, they don't have anybody else. This is why he has been there, and this is why this is happening. You are assuming there is a conspiracy theory that there are like these like dark room people and all these figureheads. They are just puppets. No, they are not. He has a talent.
He's very influential. I'm not even like reducing them. I'm saying necessarily he gets neutralized because of war crimes or what they call it war crimes.
Galaxy. No, those are international. It has to be internal. The only way that it can get neutralized is from inside Israel, inside politics. If they find something that you are a criminal now, you cannot be prime minister. If you promise that you don't become prime minister, you can fuck out of politics.
That's what I am.
This is not a revelation. Who are you to claim such insight?
Reshape the galaxy. Once that happened, this Israel thing will come down, right? And nobody talks about Israel. And that moment, then you will see like the unstoppable. I offer free. That was like right now, everybody in the area is laying low for that to happen.
So I ask you, what proof
Iran has
do you
internal
have
issues to deal
that
with.
you can deliver such power?
I think you're discounting that fully.
No, Iran really doesn't have an internal issue like that.
Yeah.
It's a hype. No. Trust me.
While the galaxy drowns
If Iran had an internal issue, they would not have this moment.
I offer
Lift
you
subsidies. So
the one
they have
thing
been waiting for
they never
47 years. Lift these subsidies.
become
They
my
did not
apprentice.
dare. If they had
Learn
internal
to
issue,
wield the
they would
power
not.
of the Sith.
They knew exactly
Together,
this would happen.
we will remake
The
the
timing
galaxy.
is completely sure they're confident nothing happens.
Justice.
Otherwise, are they crazy? Like, at this moment, they
pledge my
release
loyalty
the subsidies to people. You know why this whole thing started, right?
I think the bazaar, it was the whole.
No, the Iranian government passed a law that the dollar from now on is one price. Before that, dollar had different prices. For example, if you wanted to go buy food,
There are forces that
the
would
dollar
see
was
our
one price.
design
If you wanted to
undone.
travel, the Iranian government said, fuck you, dollar from now on is one price. And that is the market
He has taken
price.
it upon himself to
That
commission
was
an
the
army
cause of
for
all
the
these
Republic
things. What it
from
means
the
is
colonials
literally
on
bunch
command.
of like
An entire army.
corrupt people in Iran that were getting rich with all the different, different cards that was corruption.
The Jedi cannot learn of this army
For
before
47 years they have been trying to make this happen even there.
before his
Why
misguided
should we treat
actions
them?
alert the Jedi
Completely shows they're
prematurely.
very confident they don't really need them. They can handle it.
Could he not be a powerful ally to us?
He remains chained to his Jedi ideals. His fear. He cannot be part of our victory. He can only hinder it. His continued existence risks exposing the very ruins of our ascension.
I understand, Master.
See, this is how it used to work. So
Opportunity
like
presents
the central
itself.
bank,
It will be arranged. He will not
central
interfere.
bank of Iran gets some dollars, and that dollars it will give it to some other people, certain things in the country. Central bank government doesn't manage those people.
See to it that
So now those people are out of picture. There is no middleman. Dollar directly goes from the central bank to the people of Iran. They are like cards. They call it. No, they couldn't. They're scared because this means prices will go to the sky, and the prices are going to the sky in Iran right now. Like the gas goes from 5 cents per gallon, $3 per gallon. You know what that's?
I remember like my uncle would just fill up gas and just drive away.
I mean, there is an activity in Iran called Dordori. I haven't seen it anywhere in the world. And this is a fun activity. Let's go Dordori. Like you just go drive around. Gas is literally free.
Yeah, daddy. Yeah.
Dordori, you know, they go to Jordan with Dordori. Like for example, from 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that's why Tehran is locked. Even after work, this is their like hobby. They go drive in the street. What the fuck?
My grandmother goes in at daddy.
I have seen that.
Yeah, because of gas. Like I remember he would just fill up gas and just drive away. It was like the norm.
It's free.
No one was free. It was free. Yeah, so petrol was free. Gas and all homes and stuff.
Water is free. Electricity is free.
Electricity is free. Homes are free.
What the fuck?
Yeah, everything was free. I remember the water was so crystal clear. Even the water in the juice. So clean. Have you been there lately?
My uncle's wife, literally, I saw it with my own eye. To save the dishwasher liquid, she would put hot water, just run on the dishes for 1 hour. So she saves money on the dishwasher. This is what she did. I saw it with my own eye. This is,
Anyway, it's food so that's normal for you.
no, this one is here in Australia.
We got Mark here. What's up, Mark? Mark, what do you think the plan is? You think Israel is going to attack Iran? Because now Trump gave him the green light that the deal doesn't happen with Iran. What do you think about that? Mark?
Sorry, can you ask that one more time? I missed it.
I said Trump gave him a green light to Netanyahu. If the deal doesn't happen between Iran or America, that Israel can do an attack on Iran. Do you think it will actually do it? Just also attack. That's what it is. Just a new front to keep the people busy.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that if he has the right to do it, then Trump, let me start again. Trump has been consistent, rightly or wrongly, that he doesn't like to be shown up or proven a liar when it comes to international diplomacy. So if he's given someone the right to do it, if a deal isn't made and the deal isn't made, then yeah, I expect that it will happen. And it might even be, or partisan. You refer to a lot of Palestine pre-October 7th. And you look at Palestine now and Gaza now. I would still argue the open air prison was better than the situation where Gaza finds itself in now. And I would imagine that the difference that can be attributed directly to the Hamas attacks. So.
Hold on, though. Are you saying there is a genocide or there is not a genocide?
I'm not even commenting on it. I'm just looking at the photos. Look at the photos of Gaza on October 5th.
You have
and Gaza on October 8th.
Yeah. Is there a genocide in your opinion or not?
No, I don't think there is. But that's not even neither here or there. It's just a question of photographing it.
It is here nor there. Like, we can't just be kind of numb to genocide. It's the year 2026. It's not the 1500s.
I think, let's put it this way, if you take the position that Israel took, which obviously you're more than free to disagree with, but they made it pretty clear that they targeted the Gaza people in the aftermath, they would probably still argue that that is what has happened. Now, you're free to disagree with that, of course, but I think that going back to the earlier discussion about, no one could have calculated for genocide, which was a long conversation that happened about an hour ago. I don't think that was in Israel's mindset either. I don't think Israel's mindset was genocide. Israel's mindset was self-defense. So when you're doing your risk analysis, self-defense, I think, is something you can anticipate. Whether it stretches into something like genocide, which I know is a Palestinian approach. I mean, obviously, if Israel thought it was genocide, then yeah, maybe it's a difficult thing to analyze, but they don't. So because they don't think it's genocide, then it should have been factored into the risk analysis that a targeted attack on Gaza would take place. And
you said something earlier in your sentence, which I'm going to challenge you on. You said, Israel made it clear that it was an attack on Hamas. Why am I able to pull up so many quotes from senior Israeli officials, including the president, that actually imply there's things like no uninvolved civilians, like the general population is guilty, like they're comfortable with denying food, electricity, and water. Why are there various reports directly from Israeli officials saying that one of the ideas is to make Gaza uninhabitable so that the Palestinians don't return? Why was there public support by Netanyahu at one point to actually remove and relocate 2 million Gazans? So that's really unclear, actually, that it's about Hamas. It seems like it's, by Israel's own admission, it's about more than Hamas. How do I reconcile all of this in your head, in my head, and how do you reconcile that in your head?
I reconcile it pretty easily. I think that were they moving those people prior to October 7th? No. Were they moving it after October 7th? Yes. What happened on that day? Hamas came in and frankly the Palestinians alone didn't know about this. So I don't understand why there's not, I've mentioned this in this room before, I don't understand why there's not a gigantic swathe of people within Palestine who are irate and pissed because frankly, if this hadn't happened unilaterally by Hamas, their lives would be a lot better. So that's something that's confused me, but to reconcile it is pretty simple. If those things were happening on October 5th, and they were not mentioned as a direct response to what happened on October 7th.
Najes. Better be careful, Najes. You're gonna get picked up by the FBI, Najes. You're gonna get arrested. Gotta be on the right side of history, Najes. Gotta be on the side of good. Dr. Good now. Gotta fight Dr. Bad. Dr. Good's gotta win against Dr. Bad. We can't let Dr. Bad get away with this shit. What do you mean, why am I streaming? I'm sending it to Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, of course. Because they really care about this shit, obviously. Bull Rush.
It's interesting, like how rooms have completely different political views. Like this, and different loyalties, I guess.
Well, listen, if
Power Rush, Bull Rush.
Power Rush, Bull Rush,
Did you
Narcissus,
see that? Am I the only one who's seen that?
what?
Like the loyalties is complete. Like rules will differ politically, and it's interesting you're streaming this one because you'll find another room just bang opposite this that holds a completely different view to this, although the events are the same.
Well, have you seen the videos from October 7th and all the innocent people who were killed and all the injured
Yeah.
people?
Yeah,
It's so bad that like
yeah.
I saw a video of a girl who had like shrapnel all through her legs and she was like holed up in like a building and they were just all in shock and they knew that like at any moment they listen, holy shit. You just can't believe when you see all these dead bodies all around the place, you're like, I just can't believe this is real. Like, what are we doing? But the thing is, like these are pirates. The people that did October 7th are nothing more than pirates. And, you know, governments have been waging wars against pirates forever. It's like cops and robbers. But, you know, I would fight an Islamic jihadist, you know, to the death to stay alive if they're coming to kill me for political reasons, like they did on October 7th at Supernova, like those innocent people were partying to try to get peace. And then they were all slaughtered by the people that they were trying to, like, you know, get peace with. How fucked up is that?
That's what I'm saying. The other, and then you'll have a view that will not support yours, and another that will not support either or. Like, try to see how subjective like politics is.
Well, I think the good thing about being an American is like we are like the big third party. We're the huge elephant. And these are just like parasites fighting each other and sucking off of us. And the truth is, like, we kind of get to say what happens. And because it doesn't matter which side of the fences you are over there, like, they're extremely aggressive. Everybody is. Like, you know, they're polarized. And it's just crazy. Regal, welcome to Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the terrorist. How are you doing? And Nora, welcome to the room. Nora wants to run away quickly.
Yeah, thanks. Nothing but gumdrops and ice cream here. How are you?
Gumdrop?
On a moderation, moderator, point of order, moderator.
Yeah, moderator, point of order, moderator. I'm good. I'm about to hop in a hot bath. I was wanting to read some poetry, you know, because most people, like, Narcissus, do you think you have mental health problems?
Yeah, I think sometimes I spiral down, but I come up quick.
Well, it's not.
I have no choice.
Meaning,
I
like.
spiral down every now and then, like, just analyzing life and shit like that. And then I bounce back quick. I have no choice. I have to bounce back up.
Well, I mean, I was outside in nature today in the sun and jogging and you know,
exactly.
grounding myself and like.
I go for long walks and I just meet my friends. I go out. I bounce back pretty quickly. I don't like the feeling of being down at all.
Yeah, I haven't felt depressed in quite a while. I mean, it's liberating to say what you think and feel what you say. And when I just hear people wasting all their time, especially the crash outs, like if you listen to Amir screaming, you know, like to me, that's like crazy. That's like actually what crazy people do is they scream and scream and scream and scream and get angry and angry and angrier and angrier. And it's like, to what end? Like, do you have any idea how, like, why are you treating your body like that? To me, that's like, unless you're doing it for performative reasons.
I think it's performative. I think a lot of stuff on Clubhouse is just performative. And does come from like that too is mental health issue that people have, I think, the need to perform in order to be heard. Or just theatrics. It's pageantry.
Yeah, but you've heard me read from books, like that's performative. But when people are sitting here under fake identities in unrecorded rooms creating essentially like Jew hate content to like hate the Jews and not be specific, but do generalizations and bigotry stereotypes and not be a part of an actual peace movement. Like, play some drums and like let's sing a song or meditate or read something, but stop creating hornets nests that get kicked over. Like, that's what they're doing. They're not building anything beautiful or peaceful. So, that's why I say, like, call the FBI and report Amir the terrorist in Los Angeles who runs his car rental business and have him just, arrested and locked up and put into jail for maybe 10 years to chill out.
He doesn't have the right to
Just
express
relax.
his views. I just think like he doesn't have the right to express his views or to like pick a political side.
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Sure, but I've got the right to report him to the FBI. It's my right as an
Like, why?
American. No, it is. That's my freedom of
But
speech.
he's
If
not
I
violating
think.
anything, right? Like,
See, this is
I think it's
political. This is political. He wants to play politics, and I'll play politics the way I want to play politics. He can't police me by. Listen, he has kicked me from so many rooms, he won't give me freedom of speech. So I'll just record him and report him to the FBI, and I'll be done with it. Like, it's not going to stress me out. It should stress him out. And look at Judy here. Judy
Actually,
created.
you know that like Barricam's rooms are not true dating, right? Like I don't know. What
Oh,
you think,
really?
but I don't think so.
Well, see,
What do you
Darja's.
think?
Well, it doesn't matter what I think because all I want to do is record, set it, and forget it, and let other people decide. I don't want to see. This is the problem, Narjas. I don't even want to entertain questions. Do you know that? Like, I don't want to be a part of this social network. I just want to record it and let the world decide, and let lawyers decide, and let FBI analysts decide. I can't make any decisions. I'm just a citizen recording what I consider to be extremely problematic conversations because you are witnessing in real time people create nonstop hate speech. This is not nonstop peace speech and nonstop meditation or music. It's just nonstop political hate speech. That's what it is. So I've reported Amir to the Los Angeles FBI field department, and they're going to go investigate him and check out all his cars and run his taxes and see if he's been paying his taxes and check out his immigration. And if there's any problems, Kash Patel, our Hindu, Dindu FBI director, is going to fly to Los Angeles and just arrest Amir. And then he's going to be on Clubhouse and he's like, hold on a minute, guys. I got a fucking door. Knock at my fucking door. He's going to go to the front door and they're going to be like, FBI, open up. Hands in the air where we can see him. And Amir's gonna be like, oh my God, that fucking John Kitover. He fucking called the FBI on me and they're at my fucking door. Clubhouse, save me. That's what that will be Amir's last words on Clubhouse. Will be Clubhouse members, save me. If you're part of the World Affairs Forum, and you're interested in modern day political conversations and debates. Anyways. This is my comedy and my response, Narj. See, the thing is, you think I'm over the top, but I'm not. I'm literally mirroring. I'm a mirror. You know me well. Like, if people want to be aggressive and psychotic with me, well, I'll be aggressive and psychotic with you, and we'll see how far it goes in the ether. Like, you can't push me around on my cell phones, but I can record you. And if you're willing to come in a public space and be recorded, because they're in the audience in the Anon recording you and reporting you. It's not a John Kitover problem. That's a you problem. Hello?
So like today it was interesting, like at home, you see like someone pointed out something like in great hyperbole, right? That this genocide is far more intense than some other genocide, for example. And then like he created that shock value. And then someone who opposed him said, well, this is not good for the benefit of like the collective. What you're doing here is like you're promoting some kind of hate that keeps like sunning or making a dam in front of like success. Like there's no progress here, another said. So, and both these people hold the same political view, but their approaches towards like success were different. One wanted to continue with the hate, the other wanted to sort of see progress from here. So you'll also find that in like political room setups, I think. So it's so varied. It's so varied. It's so expansive. The spectrum is so wide. How like politics can be perceived like on the families.
I don't know. Narges, when these people start reading books to me, then I'll know everything is okay. Until then, I hate to tell you, like, that's what's up. You are hearing people project their homicidal and psychotic ideation on this app all the time. They're not reading books. Read me a book about intelligence, love, and peace, and then we'll have something to talk about. Otherwise, I'm going to arm myself. I'm going to record you. I'm going to report you. And I'm going to fight you because I don't think you have my best interests in heart because you don't even read to me peace. All you do, not you in particular, people on this app, like, this is a political game and, this is how I play it. Hello? So Narges, when when do you think you know a baby do you, like for pro-life, like when a baby is born, is it when the baby takes its first breath? Is it like 6 months into the pregnancy, 3 months into the pregnancy? When is a baby alive and a human? And when you kill it in an abortion, when is it like murder versus when is it, medical?
I think it's through the fourth month, third, end of third, beginning of fourth. John, it pretty much communicates with you. Seeing this as a mother. So
Mm-hmm.
it's an aliveness within you. Now, is it my freaking placebo mind that is receiving it as such, or does the child is that a real child with a life growing, etc.? I think it could be both. But for me, personally, subjectively, I'd say like 3 to 4 months. It's basically commencing.
Yeah.
Its life on Earth.
Well, that's, a reasonable answer. But I mean, see, the thing about specifics is 3 to 4 months, like, is what about when you're, see, this is like the difference between a C plus and a B minus. Like if you're at 2 months and 25 days and you're almost 5 days to that 3 months, well, you're so close in our chase. So that's my point is it's really all or nothing when it comes to deciding to decapitate, whether it's 2 months or 4 months or 6 months. There's no significant difference. So my complaint about Palestine and the war is if you're gonna scream about babies and genocide and occupation nonstop, but you're a pro-abortionist, well then you already endorse murder and killing. But you endorse it medically. You don't endorse it politically. So my point is, Narja, is there's just a lot of stupid people on here that haven't figured out poetry and music and depoliticization by being political, by being poetic. So there's just a lot of fucking people here are trying to make it into a career, and that's what it is. But it's not really artistic enough, in my opinion, and therefore they will never succeed in what they're doing. And it's more of a mental health crisis and a lack of creativity, which is what people are suffering from here. You could call it
You're
boredom.
forgetting the variables. You're forgetting the particular variables. I think those grays too must be considered, like nuances within it.
People like to use the word
Like for
nuance
example,
all
someone
the
who gets
time.
raped, right? That's what I'm saying. Like John, someone who gets raped, for example,
Mhm.
or an oops baby, right? Where like a couple is just not taken care enough. And after a drunken party, you get jiggy with it, blah blah. I mean, that is to the child in some ways. So I can't see why, like, a woman would find that to be the most rational decision of her life, so as to protect not just herself but the child too from bringing it into the world. So these are the freaking variables that I also consider and I'm empathetic about, which, like, probably pro-life people would, like, find horrible.
Well, my point is if you are pro-abortion and you're an atheist and you're a liberal Democrat socialist and you're a scientist, that's the problem, because it's deicide. If it takes a whole universe to make a baby, that means every baby you kill in utero is like executing Jesus over again on the cross. So if we were to tackle the problem of human conflict at the root, it would be, the fact that we have industrialized abortion and we have industrialized the military industrial complex. So it's just an overall killing field, and that's what it is today. Whether you get vaccinated or decapitated, a vaccine death is actually just a late term abortion, and war is just a late term abortion. So, welcome to the abortion industrial complex. From uterus to battlefield to urban warfare, it's all just a late term abortion. And then you have all these people on here who can't shut up and just want to talk over each other and get their little dopamine rushes in their pathetic little apartments and scream genocide, occupation. But they're not screaming obey the law, come into compliance, obey the law, study the law, know the law, be smart about the law. Sometimes you'll hear them say that, but not often. Mostly it's just like political jingoisms and propaganda. And, that's cool, but I hope people don't get angry at me when I record them and send it to the FBI for some FBI analyst,
It happens on both sides, if you want to be objective about it and fair.
Mhm.
And I mean, there are amongst us humans those who are humanitarian who call out for just the act of it being wrong in humanity, like adding moral value to episodes that happen, the events that are taking place. So I would say it is as wrong as to kill like one human, innocent human, unjustly, no matter what the criteria,
Mhm.
right? Or whatever, or 1 million population. So do not see where these people are coming from.
Well, I look at it from the perspective of me and my survival. If you're going to kill me, I hope to kill you first. And every soldier that, you listened to me read a lot yesterday about a martyr's death. Do you remember that part? You were sending me the cry emojis.
Yeah, that was really well.
So I see the truth on both sides. I mean, I can actually, if I use my imagination enough, I can view myself, on the other side of the fence, fighting for survival over there. They encountered a Leviathan, and I don't. They're sitting here on Clownhouse talking about risk analysis, and they're like, "You don't think that the Hamas leadership ran a risk analysis prior to October?" It's like, no, I don't think they did. They're like, "Of course they did." And like, there are professional soldiers, that work in the Russian government, the American government, the Iranian government, who have been studying warfare and trying to gather as much information as possible about how to run a war and how to fight, with intelligence. And I've got countless books, field manuals that soldiers from every war have spent their time writing after they engaged in a war. And guess what? Young officers study these field manuals so they know how to survive the war and, get the political outcome and the victory that they want to achieve. So I'm just saying that these rooms are pointless, and the Free Palestine rooms are nothing more than Barth and Daniel running the same script every single time. And I called him out on it today, and Daniel's like, "You're a fucking loser. You're like a disabled fucking veteran. Fuck you. Like, you know, I've seen Daniel Nero's photo. He's disgusting. He looks like he just came out of a catacomb tomb. Like he's like his liver and his skin is yellow and he's all dusty and nasty and he's like hugging that older guy and I'm like, bro, go to the gym, take a shower. You know, don't criticize me. You and Barth are crazy. Barth is sitting there working, putting nails in 2x4s, and Daniel is sitting in his apartment, and they're sitting there, just having like being cats with these Muslim balls, and they're just sitting there playing with these Muslim balls all day long. And I'm like, to what end, guys? Like, try to create something that lasts a little bit, at least for more than a few hours, and then disappears. Like, do some, you know.
I mean, you're a guy that talks about poetry. I mean, you don't think it's poetic in some way that people can find solidarity and like something like that? You know, like these people are my playthings. I jump on here for a day. Here's my buddy Danielle. I'm Megatron. You know, and this is what we're doing, and we find solidarity in doing that. And it passes the time. I mean, I don't know them personally. I don't know. Like, you don't think that's poetic in a way?
It's a need for human communication, and that is
Right, exactly. And I mean, is there something inherently wrong with that?
No, there's not. But you got to understand, my point is that it's still within my opportunity, right, or decision to criticize it and critique it, to film it and record it. But if somebody wants to attack me in the brief moment that they have to talk to me,
I would ask you, like, why are you doing that?
Because it's artwork.
Are you making money doing it?
Do artists do all artwork to make money, or do some artists do art to make art? Isn't that the point? We just have.
Like, so you're an artist. I mean, what is this, like performance art or something?
It's video art. I'm a video artist. I have hundreds of thousands of videos up on the internet. Okay, it's conditioning. It's conditioning and suggestion. If you just Google John Kitover.
I mean, are you planning on taking this and like chopping it up and making like an Aqua Teen, Hunger Force type of like cheap illustrated cartoon to like throw some adult humor in there or something? Is it like that, or is it just I just record you and then just put it on the internet?
That would be considered art. Yeah, I would love that art. That would be great for me. You know.
Hang on, John. Hang on.
Go ahead, Dennis.
The thing is, all communications hypnosis. Legal. The sooner that you realize that, the better off you'll be.
Wow. How has that statement changed your life in the few years that you've known me, Dennis?
Probably made a positive impact in the way that I view the world and communicate with others, not only in my personal life, but my professional life. Coach John, through thick and thin, has been an excellent source of guidance and wisdom. And
who's Coach John?
Me. He calls me Coach John. But look at his PTR. I was laughing when I was looking at that PTR. That's so fucking funny. That'd be cool. That'd be a lot of fun to try. Anyways, Regal, back to the artwork. The point is, you're just a critic. You know, until you can tell me your legal name and say, hey, check out my artwork, you know, then we can talk. But you're just not on my level, Regal. And I hope you know that I'm just a fisherman and I'm a spider. And you're just my fly or my fish.
I mean, I don't typically come on here and tell people that, like, I know how to paint. I actually have paintings in my phone. I can put them up as my PTR. I also play music. But I don't feel the need to sit there and say, well, I'm extremely distinguished between the average person here on Clubhouse because, you know, I feel the need to compare myself to other people.
But Regal, that's part of the joke. That's part of the joke that people see. Didn't you just hear what Dennis said, that all communication is hypnosis? So if I'm insulting to people,
saying that all communication is like spell casting, and I can cast a spell on you with my words and control you. That's not true.
No, that is true. If I were to insult you right now, or if you were to go into a room and you were to hear other people insulting each other, some people's feelings get hurt.
Do you know what begging the question is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just begging the question.
Okay. Well, all communication is conditioning, and all communication is projection. And so when you say, do you know what begging the question is? That's literally saying that's begging the question.
Before you further along yourself here, right, I'm just going to ask you, how do you know that?
Well, let me ask you this. You're not a moderator.
So now
go ahead.
A two-quote way, right? So that's a two-quote way.
A two-quote way?
Now, that's part of the other reason why I do get on here on occasion. It's not to distinguish myself or to be better than other people or to prove how much of a musician I am or am not. On occasion, I like to test my knowledge. I like to compare ideas, and I like to listen to people.
I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, Regal. Go ahead.
I'm back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 60 seconds. I hope we can go in 60-second intervals here. Narges, Dennis, is there anything else you'd like to contribute to call the FBI in Los Angeles report Amir the terrorist?
I think he has freedom of expression. That's what he's gonna come back with. Like, I can't criticize things that are happening around the world because I'm allowed to. I'm an American, and therefore I can. So that would be his comeback.
So I would just like to maybe prove a point. Regal, do you suffer from any mental health issues? Is there anything behind the phone that we're dealing with that we're unaware of?
I mean, if I answer your question with a question and ask you if you have any mental health issues, what are you going to say?
Well, I asked you first, and so if you don't want to answer the question and you want to answer it with a question, that's entirely up to you. But again, the subject of this room...
Notice that you did that, but did you notice you did that earlier? And that was very disrespectful of you. And I asked you, how do you know that? And you never explained it. So before you, again...
Okay, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Then I would like you to explain how it is that you know what you know.
So you want me to explain to you what I know. And, I would just ask you, do you believe that those who say they know do not know, and those who know do not say, as it says in Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, the Book of Changes? Well, we're getting to the transition point of my room creation here, and I want to thank all the participants.
Honestly, man, I think that you're a very likable person. You seem like you have a personality, and you're actually quite funny at times. I do respect your opinion. I mean, I kind of see some of what you're saying in Clubhouse, and at the same time, it's not so much what you're making it out to be, And I mean, I don't see what these cope rooms are about. Like, I notice people do that on here a lot. Like, they'll interact with somebody else on here or get into a discussion with another interlocutor, and then they open up a room, and this is like their cope session after wasting their time. And then, it's like, well, you're sitting here criticizing everyone else on here, and you're doing the same thing, but as you're sitting here doing the same thing, you're kind of like distinguishing yourself as like some sort of an artist. So you get to put yourself in the judge's seat and make judgments about everybody else. I mean, does that all apply to you?
Okay, I'm past the question and answer stage of my room creation here. I apologize. But if there's anything else you'd like to say prior to the poem that I'm about to read, go ahead and say it now. Thank you very little.
He's evading. Dr. Kitover.
No, it's okay.
Dr. is evading.
It's not evading. There are times, Narjas, there are times when I just will not entertain questions because, the truth is, I don't have to entertain every question that comes my way. And I just feel like it's very compulsive.
That he's asking you.
It doesn't... Well, go ahead. You can answer it if you want. But, I would...
They're subject to you.
Okay, well, let me just ask. Go ahead and just summarize the question, and I will quickly answer for you, and then I will give you 60-second follow-up, but then I'm going to read a poem. Go ahead.
All right. let's start off with something really easy. How the heck did you get a picture of Daniel, and how did he get a picture of you? Like, you guys must have been close at some point. Like, how did you guys get into?
He posted a picture of himself with some guy that he was talking about, and I took a screenshot of it. What do you mean?
Why would you do that?
Why would I take a screenshot of him looking like a stinky fart? So I can always remember that he's a stinky fart. What do you mean? He's disgusting.
Why would you need to take a photograph of that in order to, like, remember that? I don't get it.
Because on my phone, I screenshot everything. I'm very compulsive about screenshots. Does that answer your question?
And how is that art? Are you planning on making a collage with it or something?
Maybe. Okay, last question, then I'll give you a 60-second
Can I ask
follow-up.
you a question? So you have like asked me included like in your PTR, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for half the room because I forgot it was around the phone, and I wasn't even listening to it. So how do you see those who are like mods, whatever, and are not like true participants because they're just not around? Like, would you attribute the entire freaking? How does the human psyche work? Like in your head, are you thinking, okay, this person is also participating in the conversation or is listening in?
No, I don't carry anything with me that far. That's crazy. This is one of the reasons why it's easier just to record these rooms, because a lot of people will carry people to 3 rooms from now, 10 rooms from now. I just want to refresh every morning when I wake up, and so it's very easy to just record these rooms, call it art, which technically it is, because there's a lot of art involved in this. The art of even setting all this up, like even coming to this, to like, because most people are only operating with one phone, and that's all they got. And, anyways, the thing is consistency on these rooms. I want to record consistent rooms and consistent speakers, because technically the people who speak the most are like the most sociopathic amongst us. And this app is a perfect place to do observation of the human personality and psychological and character, so it's fucking awesome in my opinion. X isn't even close to as good as this, because this is a much like closer community, and the platform itself is better than X. So to me, most organizations are missing out on this opportunity to test communication here. It's instantaneous feedback on whatever concept your organization is considering putting out. So it's really an awesome, powerful tool. And, look at the room we're in right now. I got in another room in my house, I got 6 phones pointed at Amir's room, recording it and live streaming it onto YouTube. And people all around the world are commenting on it. And I hope they never stop, And what's crazy to me is, like,
not many people watch your videos, to be honest.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's all practice leading up to a big breakthrough. But the cool thing is, and which is unbelievable to me, is like, I get notifications from YouTube saying, hey, your video has been removed because it violates our hate speech policy. And then I go and I look to see what the violation is, and then I play it, and then I appeal it. And then somebody in the Philippines watches it and they go, yep, this was not hate speech violation. I will make the video public again, and you do not have community guidelines strike. And so how in the world can their algorithm, because it's totally subjective. Like, to me, if I hear somebody saying something, I'd be like, yeah, that could be like, that's possible terrorist and hate speech. But like, how does that YouTube algorithm not think that all the shit it's hearing is not hate speech? You see my point? Like, how the fuck is it not calling it all hate speech? It's because the algorithm is biased for preference and race and ethnicity and geographic. Like, how the fuck can the algorithm know that? It's unbelievable. So it's totally biased. And as a white heterosexual Christian American male, I'm just wondering, how does it know what I'm saying, is considered hate speech or not hate speech? Because clearly, almost like 99.9% of everything I say is not hate speech. But how in the world, like, what are the words? What are the phrases? What's the intonations? Like, what kind of voodoo do I do, to trigger it? But like, if I can record Amir's room and it's a complainium of people hating on the Israelis and the Zionists and the Jews and the Ashkenazi Khazars and all this shit, like, how the fuck does it not label that? So, censorship is real, because the problem with the radical, mind is that it just knows no limits. And we have to focus our minds. And those types of rooms, in my opinion, are indicative of people who don't know how to meditate, don't know how to control their bubble, and they are a victim of chance and fortune as opposed to, getting ahead of it and being a little quicker and being able to modify their destiny.
That's why I asked you, like, how do you know that? Because a lot of these people sit here and they'll either get into rhetoric or they'll read up something, or they'll try to find an article, or they'll ask you to cite a source. I mean, even though their mind's not clear, constantly meditating on this proposition you want to prove to be true, and then present your case and evidence for it. I mean, it's actually thrilling to get the chance and opportunity to test your intellect against other people. I think a lot of Democrats and Republicans, for an example, want to be able to debate themselves in spaces like this to test their knowledge and see what works and what doesn't. I just think perhaps people get a little too ahead of themselves and they buckle down a little too hard. And they have a bias, and some people get tunnel vision and they get kind of stuck in bad habits. I'll watch philosophers do this all the time. Good philosophers, there's better philosophers than me, but I can point out flaws in their logic or issues, and they'll just be perplexed, and it just boils down to personal incredulity. I don't want to believe that because my feelings won't allow me to.
Yeah, I have seen that. But you can reach a state of mind where you can totally drop that sort of personal, I mean, not totally, but to a large extent. And I think that's what I do in these rooms. Like, I can truly look at it from, if I get into the mode, I can see the whole thing quite unbiased. However, if I go into like the Iranian rooms, something in me like brings up memories of, I don't know, childhood. Like there's some connection there that I know I am not being completely unbiased. That's why I don't speak in those rooms. But when I know that I'm ready to be unbiased or objective, then yeah, no matter what the room title is or no matter how heated the conversation, I think I try to insert objectivity into spaces so that truth can be, found, no matter what the conversation is. It's almost like a reflex, knee-jerk reaction for me. It's like, look at the other side too. And then in some spaces I'll get like confrontation. Like, oh wow, you're not on our side. And that's fine. I don't have to be on your side.
Well, I thought the whole point of like religion or let's say politics or anything that's like dealing with some, human, like whatever the case may be, it's like people are trying to come together and figure these things out, and that's kind of the point of it, to suspend.
They're not Rico. They're not. They're coming to be biased. They're assholes. Like, it's really sick. They just hold one opinion. Very few of us, I think, on this app actually want to philosophize or be objective about the world. No matter what the topic is.
Well, it's not just about being objective.
I can agree to that. I mean, a lot of times, like, that's why I often don't start with, that's why I'll just grant somebody their presuppositions and say, well, I'll grant it, fuck it, and now let's see how it aligns up with my worldview and how you account from there. And it's just, okay, I have no realistic reason to take what you believe seriously. And I debate more atheists out here than anything else, and they don't believe in anything. So it's like, I want a right to do this, I want rights. And then I ask them,
God not doing this?
Where do your rights come from?
Human God.
Okay, fine. You don't believe in anything, so why should I believe you? And you literally interdepend on the benevolence, and let's be real here, of religious people who actually have metaphysics. I mean, you can sit there and screw with it all day.
This is why I indulge in physics with you, because they won't even like take the time to.
Wait, physics? Physics? Give me the equation for velocity.
No, Not physics, metaphysics.
Oh, well, you know, physics is like metaphysics, and metaphysics is like physics.
No, there are things that undergird like metaphysics that are like purely conceptual that we can't even like, let's say, like test for.
Well,
It's just something that's assumed.
Well, is it the theory of gravity or is it the law of gravity?
Well, you can get to the theory or the law if you're not even going to talk about what logic is first and the law of non-contradiction and identity and excluded middle.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to have that first.
Okay, well,
Ground yourself in it.
ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming to this room. This is Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the car rental, a piece of shit terrorist, to the FBI. We're going to now transition to the musical component of this room. Feel free to leave if it becomes too annoying. And I also, you know, do believe that a lot of people have attention deficit disorder on this app, and they really want their dopamine bad. But you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's really because you should probably listen twice as much as you speak. If you actually do that, you'll realize the truth of the earth. And the truth of the word earth is the first 3 letters are ear. And you've got 2 of those. So it doesn't mean you got 2 earths. It means you got 2 ears to listen. And people on this app really love that dopamine. And it turns out that the more you love creating dopamine by talking endlessly, there's a very high correlation chance that you might actually be a dope. Not necessarily a dope head, but a dope. Not stupid, but a fool. Because I know nobody is stupid if you can read. And somebody on YouTube just wrote, Woke Suwajsiki, your CEO is the mother of YouTube algorithms. Not sure what that means. Anyways, let's get to the musical portion. We're going to play the Chinese flute. And then I'm going to read a quick little poem and go hop in the hot tub with Pamela Anderson. And she's only when she was 26. Here we go. Never had one lesson. We cleared the room. We cleaned the house. Oy vey, Rabbono Shalom. Another Shabbos miracle. Oy vey.
Are you prepared to say that anyone who is still pro-Hamas within Palestine is therefore in the same boat as me and a genocide supporter? And if not, why not? Because it's the exact same situation. Okay, I'm potentially prepared to say that, provided you say the same. Okay, I'll say the same. Okay, then we agree. So, so then, what do you say to the people who are pro-Hamas in Palestine in order to convince them to not have these views anymore? It's a loaded question. Well, they're clearly the wrong views. You deserve better leadership. That's number 1. I agree. Number two, I wish that Netanyahu didn't allow the flow of $1 billion+ to this leadership. Number 3, unfortunately, let's look within your own societies. Band together. Netanyahu and the Likud party's plan has always been, as stated in their charter, to prevent the formation of a Palestinian state. They do not support Palestinian state. So the Palestinians are responsible to a degree, of course, for the things that exist within their society. And Israel, the so-called beacon of democracy in the Middle East, is also responsible. And maybe if you live in a world where you hold the people with more power responsible, okay, I just don't understand why Israel knowingly sent $1 billion to a terrorist group and
That is a breakthrough. And let me ask you this. If that is a breakthrough, and I've said this in this room before, yes, that is a breakthrough. I don't know if 40% is right. I don't know if 70% is right. I don't know if 10% is right. So there's someone saying that hasn't been validated. I agree. But what I don't see and what I don't understand is if Sheikh's viewpoint is shared by others, and maybe it isn't. I like Sheikh's viewpoint, by the way. Where is the protest against Hamas? It doesn't exist from the Palestinian groups. It should exist.
Actually, there have been protests
against the protests against Israel. I'm fine with the protests against Israel, but there needs to be a sister movement saying, by the way, these guys have made our lives complete shit as well. Let's get these guys the fuck out.
Yeah,
and it's nowhere. It's nowhere.
There have been, by the way, protests against Hamas.
No countries. Nowhere.
Hold on a second. I mean, you're making a statement without doing the research. So there have been protests against Hamas in Gaza. By the way, in a place where you get potentially killed for disagreeing with Hamas. So that's one. Second is the Arabs aren't stupid, right? They know that Hamas was basically indirectly, to some degree, directly funded by Netanyahu, right? They know that what Netanyahu is doing by policy, intentional, calculated, discerning policy, is to divide the Palestinians. And so when you're sitting there picking up the ashes of your burnt little girl and burnt little boy, when you're sitting there picking up 1 foot of your mother and 1 arm of your father, high on your list is not, protesting Hamas. High on your list is not reading the last paragraph of the leaflet. High on your list is figuring out, are you going to bury your family? Are you going to live to the next day? Where are you going to get food, water, and electricity? Those are the things you worry about. You probably have never lived in a war. I have. Not to the degree that we see in Gaza, but I have. When you're in a war, and you're innocent, like the overwhelming majority of the good Gazans, you're not figuring out what to put on your poster.
Yeah, I get it. And I think similarly, when you hear, stats are about how, a lot of people in Israel are against Palestinians or whatever the case may be, and that gets thrown around a lot by me, or, it's not just Hamas, it's the Palestinians. If you're the uncle or daughter or son of somebody who was just kidnapped, you're not that concerned about, making a big distinction between, and by the way, I disagree with this, but you're probably not too concerned with making a big distinction between Hamas and the people that voted for them. Now, they should make that distinction, but emotions run high, right? Just like you said, emotions run high when you're dealing with somebody who's lost their leg. Emotions run high when your 90-year-old grandfather has got dragged, 50 miles down the road and stuck in a bunker. So these emotions tend to lead to pretty outlandish positions sometimes. But that's why you need people who have sort of the grounding to hopefully make more conscious decisions. And I think if you look at it dispassionately, which is very, very hard to do, then you can see that Israel is a culprit, but so the hell is Hamas, and Palestine should want to get both of them gone.
Right.
And I just don't see enough of the protest. It's just a one-way protest for the vast majority of the people.
That's fair. But here's what I'll say, right? Like, the uncomfortable truth for all radical Zionists and for all supporters of the current regime in Israel is you have lots of Arabs like me acknowledging that, Hamas is a terrorist group and Hamas has genocidal intentions. But you can't bring yourself to acknowledge that Israel's leadership is basically doing the same. And it's a really, really troubling world we live in when the benchmark is a state comparing itself to a terroristic group. Like, that's like, what? Aim high, man. Like, don't try and clear the, they did it too, and where they is a terrorist group. Aim higher, man. Like, you could do better. if you don't want to aim high, then just don't say that you're the leader, beacon of democracy in the Middle East, which is the thing I keep hearing from Israelis and from Israeli leadership.
I get that. By the way, I need to go in a second because my wife has called me 10 times and I need to make sure the emergency.
Yeah, today was Valentine's Day. It's don't ruin the momentum.
But I go back to aim higher as well. I get what you're saying, and frankly, I did acknowledge something a second ago. That's what he called it a breakthrough. And you did too. But the key thing is that I still go back to the point. You have hostages, so whether it's a country or a terrorist group or your grandmother up the road, it is your responsibility to do everything in your power to bring them home. And we can talk about scenarios. Can you imagine a scenario? Pick a country, any country in the world, doesn't have to be Israel, where something happened similar to October 7th, and the government's response was nothing. Or we're not going to try and get them back, or we'll pay off these guys, which, by the way, you can argue whether that was a legitimate option. I will say in the United States, which is where I'm based, it is an absolute fundamental rule of law that you do not negotiate or pay off terrorists. I don't know if that exists in other countries or not, but at least in the U.S., that was not a viable option.
But the U.S. does do that, though.
Maybe it does, but it's stated goal. It's stated goal. We do not negotiate with terrorists. Nobody's going to take everybody correctly talk to us. And that is true because that's a back channel. But the point is that from a political position, you do not want to be the guys that said they stole a shitload of our people and we let them do it. And I don't think that's unique to Israel.
No, it's not.
Any other country, something happened to them, and
I'll make this easy for you. Yeah. I wasn't one of those ones that was surprised how Israel responded. I was like you. I'm like, they are what they say they are, right? When it comes to military use, right? So, and it was they were forced to. They were definitely forced to respond militarily, right? There's no debate there. Like it'd be completely irrational to say, well, maybe they'll just hold peace talks. No, they're going to respond. They're going to respond with force, and they were baited into it. Now, what I was a little surprised at was how fast and loose Israeli officials were with genocidal statements. I mean, that was shocking to me, actually. What I was a little surprised at was the insistent, intentional starvation policy. I mean, they literally waited till people looked like skin and bones. I mean, that's just crazy to me. And it's a good reminder that even in 2026, we can go back to our savage ways, you know? That just shocked me. And I was equally shocked at the savagery that Hamas conducted. I was disgusted by it. I was shocked.
Hamas are a resistance group. I don't give a shit what Zionists have to say. Everybody is entitled to their own fucking opinion. Hamas are a resistant organization. If Hamas did not exist, you would have filth like Mark, Kula, fucking see it. I want to body fuck your wife, bitch. I gotta go call my wife.
Shane, for what it's worth, I think it's very constructive conversation.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's been constructive because you heard what you wanted. I'll see you later, guys.
Okay, Mark. Take care.
I'll die, bitch.
Okay. So here's the thing. Is it a thing or two things? Many things.
Multiple things.
Now's the things.
Okay, you guys want to get cussed out?
No. It's okay. Cursing is okay. You said Edward is next to you.
That's fine.
I'm with Prince here. Go ahead, Prince.
Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
Every asshole of the block wants to assess the situation from their own biases, paradigms, and flaws. Number one, and I've said this in the past, it is yet to be determined why October 7th happened. What was the thinking? And
legitimation obtained by Hamas to take such a decision. Number two, whether or not October 7th is a good or a bad thing for the Palestinian people. Things are measured by their outcomes, and these outcomes are yet to be determined. Pragmatically speaking, aside from emotions and everything that has occurred, it is not the case. We don't know if they knew what they were getting into. We don't know if they had to do despite what they're getting. But all of this will be uncovered with time. And nobody ever tells a person who is defending himself, why did you do it? You escalated the situation. It's called self-defense for a reason, and October 7th was an act of self-defense, not an act of aggression. Because there is an occupation, and there is a siege. But everybody is so clear. No, I'm just saying, Mike is so clear, like loud and crispy clear. Go on, go. I'm done.
And I think Edward would probably agree with this question, but if Mark is using that argument about wouldn't any country respond to having hostages with whatever kind of actions, the same argument the other way around, because weren't there Palestinian? What's the difference between the October 7th hostages and the Palestinian hostages that were before October 7th, right?
He's not here.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Wait, she left?
Why wouldn't you respond that way?
I'm here. I think she was civil station. But Prince, to finish, we were maniyacking with you, sorry. I'll respond to that. In 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon and remains in Lebanon because a dumb bitch ambassador was assassinated in London. Does anybody believe that the assassination of a single individual warrants the invasion of an entire country and the slaughter of over 25,000 people in the year 1982 alone?
This dumb person, she was Israeli ambassador, right, Prince?
Yeah, if I want to count the casualties post 1982, pretty sure we'll go up to the 70 and 80,000 Lebanese, Palestinians, and Syrians who were killed in Lebanon. Does the assassination of an individual warrant an invasion of an entire country? It doesn't. Which means one thing. Based on that scenario, we're running a comparative analysis of the behavior of Israel. We know that on October 7th, even so it was minute, it would have exacted the same odds. Because these responses, the way Israel reacted on October 7th and the way Israel reacted in 1982 was not by sheer coincidence. It was premeditated. It was pre-planned. They didn't wake up on October 7th, saw the footages, and then decided to put up a bunch of plans. No, they have a bank of targets. They know what they're going to target. They have plans of invasion. They have all this prep. And between 1980 and 1982, there weren't major clashes between the Palestinian and Lebanese resistance against the Israelis, aside from the assassination that happened in London. Yasser Arafat back then said it when the Israelis signed a ceasefire for the first time, recognizing the PLO as a legitimate organization after what was called then the Cannon War, Harb al-Madfa'iyya. He said the Israelis are going to invade Lebanon.
that anybody would reasonably grasp. Killing one individual warrants an invasion of the entire country. No, and even if the ambassador was not killed, is it really difficult for them to cause a false flag attack? And if October 7th didn't happen, but we know that what we're seeing is what they wanted to happen, is it difficult for them to cause a false flag attack on Gaza and do it?
No, very easy.
Then everybody needs to shut the fuck up.
Especially after they gave them $1 billion.
About the brave men sacrificing not only themselves, but also their families in the process for honor when you have no honor.
Look, I agree the time will tell, right? I agree.
But Sheikh,
sorry, what was your question?
instead of sort of coming to that kind of agreeing that Hamas did something wrong, why wouldn't you use the argument that there were Palestinian hostages before October 7th? So to say that, wouldn't any country respond this way if they had hostages? Like, couldn't you use the same argument about the Palestinians?
No. Because I like to draw red lines. You know, there's certain lines that they cannot be crossed, and some of it has to do with my background. Like, for example, when Palestinian militia came up to my village in Lebanon and murdered my cousins and killed their parents and made the kids watch and then killed the kids and then burned the house on top of them. I wouldn't in any way, shape, or form want any Christian militia to extract the same kind of thing. There are red lines, okay? And the red line was crossed. And I'm not saying it was crossed by all members of Hamas. I mean, there were 1,200, 1,400 people that crossed that border, whatever the number was. But certainly, many red lines were crossed. If they conducted a strictly military operation, I would have still said it was a mistake. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I mean, I believe in drawing red lines on certain things. Because it's a very, very dark place you go when you kind of let everything be in a relative moral framing. It's very dark.
About you mentioned genocidal. How is Hamas October 7th genocidal, or is that where you're referring to say that Hamas was genocidal or had genocidal intent?
Yeah, I mean, they've cleared their officials like you know. I need to be consistent in my position, so I don't want to take a weak position that says that a group that's made genocidal statements hasn't. And the main reason I do that, number one, is the honest truth that if you want to counter and say that there are no genocidal statements made by Hamas, we can dig into that. But that's the main reason. But the second reason is I want the focus to be on the so-called nation that has so-called democracy and so-called rule of law and so-called most moral army in the world. I don't want the focus to be on Hamas. I want the focus to be on them. Because Hamas isn't walking around saying they're the most moral militia in the world. They admit they're terrorist groups. In a sense, you actually appreciate. I have to be very careful here, but in a sense, that particular sentiment is actually more honest. To be honest, doesn't make it right, but it's more honest.
But they don't.
Sorry, Prince. Sheikh, with all due respect, this narrative that Israel has been put forward, through the Western mass media, last 70 years or so, it's just pure and utter fake. It's false, and even acknowledging it that's just more.
Which narrative?
This narrative that they came that they are, the only democracy in the Middle East, they are the most moral army in the.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I'm not acknowledging it.
No, my point is, and I'll say this again with all due respect, to acknowledge it is to give them an advantage. I don't think we should.
I didn't acknowledge it, Hassan. I'm not mocking it.
No, I'm saying to actually base your debate and argument based on a narrative is wrong. That's just what I'm saying.
Why?
With all due respect,
why? I think you misunderstood me, and I don't know if we have time to dive into the misunderstanding. I mean, we can.
شيخ عم تصوم؟
لا بدي صوم.
وين؟
على من يكي؟ ليه؟
هلا طلعتكم.
I want to.
هلا الأسبوع الجاي بكره حتفتش.
طيب نلحق حالنا الليلة.
نلحق حالنا اليوم كل اللحمة بالبراد. خلاص.
خيي بدنيك اختر بالراد. خيي بدنيك اختر بالراد.
يلا نيجي نختار لأنه شباب
خلص بالبراد ما بعرف رح يكون براد خيي. رح يكون والله مش
I want to know what are the genocidal statements made by Hamas?
I don't want to look them up, bro. Then you got the browser history. Next thing you know, I'm getting a knock on my door. Don't do that to me.
No, but why don't call this
incognito mode?
Can the same
I don't have NordVPN, bro.
Can the same be said about the rhetoric coming out of the PFLP during its height? At its height, can the same be said that they were genocidal?
I have to study what they said.
Look, if you're gonna look into the sentiments of these factions, back then,
it's probably the case.
Yeah, more extreme.
Yeah, it's probably the case.
And they were. I wouldn't categorize them as being genocidal, either one of those groups, because the rhetoric is geared towards the state as a structure and its compliances, such as the IDF.
I believe Hamas.
No. The FLP targeted Jews in Europe. Zionist Jews in Europe that were not just real.
But you're kind of making the same.
But that doesn't mean they were genocide.
But Prince, هلا خلينا نبلش بالمنيكي a little bit, okay?
No.
No, بدك تفهم. How I was debating Mark. You have to pay attention.
No, I wasn't here for that.
Okay. So I knew he was going to try and take the position once I cornered him, that he was going to try and find quotes that suggest that the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, was just targeting Hamas.
Okay.
So I had to form my position that shows that one genocidal statement makes you a genocidal maniac. Right?
Okay.
So I wanted to neutralize the nuance and then call him out for being nuanced about something as murderous as a genocide. So anyway, that's why I did. Yeah. There's a little prince in me in that moment, you know. I see you. What you do, you set the traps and you wait for them.
The problem, and not with you
lurking in the bushes.
I feel like, and this is not directed to you, Sheikh, at all, that the word genocide or genocidal as a adjective, it's being used in society now as a matter of fact term to describe a lot of things. It's, I don't know, it's losing its potency a little bit because I read science fiction, and current science fiction has been written in late 2024 and in 2025. Characters are making comments over something that doesn't taste very good, or this is a genocide, or this is a war crime, and things like this, and it's becoming a part of our vocabulary to say it. It's
what is a genocide?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have Mark like using these random definitions. That's right. To be honest, at the beginning, I was very, very ignorant on what a genocide actually was. Like I was in the early days was like, well, no, there's not a genocide because I was using this kind of, to your point, this ignorant colloquial definition. And then when I read the article too, I was like, oh fuck, man, got a problem here. Obviously, there was a problem. I mean, the 70,000 dead civilians was the problem. Like I was no longer conflicted about whether there was a genocide. All you have to do is read the Article 2 definition. By the way, like, when are these guys gonna fucking rule on is that case still open?
Yeah, every couple of years.
What's taking so long?
Because they have to gather a massive amount of evidence. Because it's not just evidence in Gaza. They have to gather evidence of policies and systems.
It's probably gonna turn into like the Armenian genocide, where fucking 100 years goes by and we're still not fully acknowledged.
Why? I don't know. I should look that up. Why they haven't acknowledged that as a genocide? I don't remember looking that up. There's a technicality or something.
I'm not sure. I think I heard that Israel was like also low key trying to subdue the acknowledgement, which is crazy to me.
No, they acknowledge it whenever they get mad at Turkey.
It's important because these people are sort of past masters at debasing actual wars. And fortunately, genocide has a legal definition. That's, when you, with intent, try to annihilate a group that shares a common denominator, essentially. So each and every time, if somebody misunderstands or tries to debase the word itself, I think it's important for people who know to give the legal definition as quickly as possible, so that it is registered because that is not an ordinary word. It's a legal expression, essentially. And also, I believe when we are debating an issue with these people, we should call them out every time they try to debase certain expressions, certain words, and so on and so forth. Try to normalize, a horror behind debasing a word. You see, that's quite.
I agree.
I think that's quite important.
By the way, according to ChatGPT, Israel still has not acknowledged the Armenian genocide, which is fucking crazy to me.
Okay, I have the answer to the Armenian genocide.
What's that?
It happened before in 1948, before the UN even.
Oh, before the definition.
No, yes, but you can go back. Yes, it happened in 1915 to 1917, and the Geneva Convention was 1948, and of course the UN was 1945. You can still go back, but you have to have another nation's. You have to have a nation that was a part of the League of Nations sue in order to go back to sue.
Well, the U.S. took a while, but apparently in 2021 they acknowledged it.
A lot of countries acknowledge it, but
no, but the U.S. was like a late bloomer. Sadly, wasn't until 2021. Yeah.
But acknowledgement without enforcement is basically just words on paper.
They're not genociding the Armenians now.
No, in the sense of like, even with Palestine, if they acknowledge it without reparations, what good is the acknowledgement?
Alright.
Wouldn't you want some sort of substantive, like,
that's fair.
The Geneva Convention does have mechanisms for nations that have ratified, and a lot of nations have ratified the Geneva Convention. And, if a country is convicted of genocide, then they would
would have to, limit their, interaction with that nation to the most minimal amount possible.
But you see what's sinister with Israel's position on the Armenian genocide? It's like you would think of all nations that would be quick to say
They didn't acknowledge.
They did not, no. And they have this kind of low-key alliance with Azerbaijan.
They spoke about acknowledging it.
But they didn't, yeah.
Last year, yeah. Well, they get 80% of their gas from Azerbaijan and Turkey.
For all this talk about never again and these guys stay neutral, what was it, 1 million Armenians? Wasn't it 1 million? Something like that.
It goes into, I think it goes into the Knesset as they put it in as a bill, but it has to pass 3 times. It doesn't pass, so it doesn't become something that they would recognize officially. But they always do it when they're angry at Turkey, when Turkey does something they don't like. They use it for political gains.
That's so disgusting, man. Like, why is it hard? Like, that shouldn't be something hard to do.
It's realpolitik, right? It's them trying to get gas, oil, and all that. So yeah, all the ethics and morals doesn't mean anything.
By the way, like how the Turks did some of the most cruel things ever.
Turks are very militant. They're very
like I read something where they took families and tied weights to them, like just enough to keep them kind of slowly drowning, and just let them kind of slowly drown. Just discussing things like this. Disgusting.
Can you eat on mute, Prince? We don't want to hear that shit.
You kept complimenting his high definition audio, and now he's.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you something, Sheep. Do you remember the February 14 room, right? What is it? Like yesterday's room? You were in America room?
Yes. I was giving marriage advice, including marriage advice is not to be on Clubhouse on Valentine's Day.
John Kitover, I got the clip of that room.
Okay.
All right. And all of a sudden, Bart comes on the stage and he's asking, "Are you Muslim? Are you this?" to Emre. Are you Muslim Israeli? Are you Israeli Muslim?
I'm Israeli Muslim?
Yeah, like such an idiot.
Israeli Muslim.
Bart is such a fucking piece of shit. Oh my God.
First I found myself modded. I hate when I get modded, but I found myself modded. And you know what? I started having so much fun with it. You know how much fun it is to keep muting someone every time they talk?
Well, talk to Ray about that. He loves it.
I kept muting the guy every single time. It was so. It's like you ever had an itch on your back?
Daniel?
Bart.
Oh my gosh.
Do you ever have an itch on your back and you finally scratch it? Like that just sensation you get. That's what I was getting when he kept talking. I muted him over and over. Because you can't kind of hit it. Well, you gotta like go 2 menus in. And I just kept doing it. It was just so satisfying.
I've never done it. What 2 menus? What's the menus?
To mute someone individually?
Yeah.
Oh, you just click on them and then you click on the dots, the 3 dots, and then you mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a targeted attack. It's like you have a laser pointer on their mouth, and you just shoot a laser pointer, and out comes like a gag, and you just. But the thing that makes it fun is you get to keep doing it. It's not just once.
Talk to Baya. Tell her exactly what you said. She figured out the mute button too a couple of weeks ago on Brett, and she was having the time of her life. It was really
the targeted muting. I don't like the muting the whole room. Like that disrupts things. But you just keep muting one person over and over and over again. It's so good.
Amir does it to Norm.
Shape, they made it easy. By the way, Shape, Norm, the video was uploaded on my YouTube. See?
Oh, no.
Yep, I'll put the link in the chat. See, this is the red line is my religion. So you come for that, that's it. That's the red line. I'll put the link in the chat. This is, I don't know if you got 11 or 12 views. You're welcome to watch it.
Oh, no, I'm here. He must have really pissed you up.
I hear you.
I mean, to be fair, you warned him 3 times, you said.
Watch, like, and comment. And subscribe to the channel. You did it in shape. The problem was the first time you did it, okay. Second time you did it, third time you did it. And we're talking about Epstein. Nothing to do with religion. Well, I'm not coming, I'm not my religion. I had nothing to do with Epstein. I did not talk about Judaism. Right? And that's the red line. And I said, okay, let's pay this. Right? Last time I did him dirty as well with the clip that he's asking Danny for no photos or videos. I fucked him over.
I mean, I just clicked on it. You have a fucking production now. You have a fucking...
Yeah, he said you like it.
That's professional. That's so professional.
Very professional. So guys, I put the link in the chat. This is Norman Green on this app. This is a fresh view room. He's welcome to come in and defend, and he can watch the show as well. I worked on it for a little bit, and you know how it is. We got to do it professional, man. No?
I didn't realize that almost when I went to his room on Friday that he made me mod, and everybody was yelling at me, and I'm, doing my own thing.
And Daniel wanted you to move that person down, but you didn't move the person down.
Yeah, I'm like, and I know he didn't say, like, he said, Edward, you gonna do something about this? So what am I gonna do? Like, it's none of my business, I didn't know that was, he almost made me mod and then just went to bed. And so I moved him down. But I did move him down, almost kept moving them up, almost like the content. So finally I threw him out the room. Whoever that person was.
I don't know, bro. It's just, Amos rooms, it gets really crazy.
Yeah, but I cooked Daniel and Sergio really good.
I put the link in the chat, Edward. Check it out. And this is what I did with Norm. And there's another clip that's supposed to come out probably today or tomorrow. I actually used the AI technology, like I lie. Norm is running away from resistance.
That's funny.
Actual Norm.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I got the access to the AI, proper AI now channel. I'm gonna be fucking, doing some things on Norm. I'm coming for Norm. Because, you don't come and fuck with me, right? Especially with my religion, that's a red line for me. That's it.
So there's a link I dropped earlier when Benny Olive was in the room that you should put in your link tree, Amir. It's a timeline of U.S. positions.
I looked into it. I think he was right on this. So let me read it out.
What I'm asking you is if you could take a look at this and put it in because it goes through from the 1980s, early 80s, all the way up to I believe current of executive orders and things like this that the U.S. has done against Palestinians.
So when I looked into it, this is what my perplexity gave me, right? Because I like to fact check shit. Even today, this morning, we had that brother Yada. He made a claim that F-35 or something, America, did not want to sell it because of Israel. Didn't sell it to Saudi Arabia because of Israel. I looked it up. It did sell to Saudi Arabia.
When did it sell? Must have been recent.
So he said that. So Yada's claim was Yada's claim was that America blocked the sale of F-35 to Saudi Arabia, this and that, because of Israel. And I looked it up. They did not.
When did they? Because it must have been after MBS's visit here to the U.S.
So it says, no, the U.S. did not block Saudi Arabia from buying F-35 jets under President Trump. It approved sales as part of a major 2025 defense deal despite past hurdles and Israeli objections. So he did approve it. No, it's just because, look, in this room, I hate the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? We have people, bro, I don't know, even yesterday, I respect the yada, right? But yesterday he made some claims and I had to freaking fact check it, bro. And maybe he was talking about that brother is pro China taking over Taiwan. Okay. No, I'm 100% against China taking over Taiwan. No, I believe in the people, Edward. So the people, their survey is done. The things back and forth, the surveys are done. The surveys, a lot of people that live on that land, whether they're Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever you want to call them, they do not want to be part of China. So now, if they don't want to be part of China, then, we go with the people, right? What the people want. But if China owns that land, it's disputed. That's what the, online is saying. Yeah, so, Taiwan is not in the UN. The UN doesn't consider Taiwan a nation. I know, but the U.S. I think U.S. is just like Golden Rights was working under the U.S. I think U.S. is sort of like trying to get in the way over there. U.S. should stay the fuck out of it, right? Let them deal with their own problems and let the people decide. So you were going to say that this olive character was right about the U.S. I'll read it out to you what perplexity gave me. Okay, I'll read it out to you. When this bitch was here, a fucking cunt. Prince, I got your back on this. You know what I said to him? I said, have you worked with the idea before? He got triggered and he started cursing me out. I think he's a drug dealer. No, I said, he is a drug dealer. He said it to us in a room with a bunch of other people. So he came to me, he apologized for cussing my family out. I introduced him to a bunch of foreign leaders. Excuse me, Brent's brother. محمد مالك والله مالك. اسمع هو من الرملة ابن الرملة. English bro, English. ما سألت أنا بس English. We're talking about situation of 48, and we're talking about the crimes. And then he said that he used to be a criminal belonging to a gang, selling drugs, and he got jailed for it. I don't know how long he was jailed. And then a crazy psychotic guy goes, he's doxing. How the fuck did I dox him? Well, you could tell by the way he talks. Yeah, Brent's be careful, almost those people who got educated from our brothers in 1948, the Palestinian who have the Israeli passport, always they are, I don't know, what you call this in the line. I don't know. Spoiled. Hold them. No, their time gets dirty. They think themselves, above the others. They know more than the others. This is their weakness. I know them. Now, Amir, what you said. Let me read it out to you. I said, did America knew about Oslo? It says no, the U.S. government was not aware of the secret Oslo Accords negotiations until shortly before their public reveal in late August 1993. Negotiation secrecy. The Oslo I Accords stem from clandestine talks between Israel and the PLO in Norway starting January 1993. Brokered by Norwegian diplomats without U.S. involvement to bypass stalled public channels like Madrid, U.S. officials, including the Clinton administration, learned of the draft only after it was finalized in mid-August 1993, but Israeli and Palestinian reps flew to Washington seeking endorsement. So here's where I would say I would disagree. The U.S. Absolutely. The reason that the U.S. would deny it until it was signed is because Clinton was a brand new president in his first term in 92.
So he couldn't risk anything.
Not because of that. Not because of that.
It is because of that. That's how politics work. That's how politics work here in the US.
Listen, please, Edward, please. It was, a preparation after Madrid meeting. It was, the first thing they started talking after Intifada, the first Intifada, they start appearing in the West Bank leaders, some leaders, Al-Husseini, many leaders.
He's not talking about.
Listen, please.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm talking about.
This is a real story.
But it's a story that
Chairman Arafat, when the things get serious, first of all, the beginning, he gave them, a green light to go.
That's not what we were discussing.
It's a real story, brother.
That's not the story that we were. It's a real story, but it's not a story.
He's not involved. We're not involved direct with the negotiation.
We understand. It's understood. But the U.S. not knowing is impossible, especially Norway being a Western nation. Of course they knew. And the U.S. had a stranglehold on U.S. Israeli Palestinians.
Excuse me, I speak in Arabic. القيادة البديلة لما بلشت تتشكل فيصل الحسيني والشباب لما بلشت تتشكل القيادة الحسيني
Come on, man.
He doesn't know how to express himself.
Yeah, it's okay. Just leave it and go to the Arabic room. Go mood. I don't like your fucking energy anyways. You like the Woody Club for the Zionist comeback. You were Woody clapping for Benny Oliver here. Fucking giving a thumbs up, heart symbol, and this and that. I'm like, what in the fucking world is that here?
Very beautiful.
Okay, stop.
Do you know what he told me in Arabic? He told me I have people where he lives, where Benny Oliver lives.
Yeah, and bro, I wouldn't take anything that comes out of Woody, just a bullshitter. One night he wants to sleep with Amos in his bed, and one night he wants me to come over there sleep in his bed. Fucking disgusting.
You still have the opportunity, Amir.
No, I don't want that. I don't want it that way.
Come on.
I'm not getting.
I give you enough. You have 24 hours only.
I'm not getting.
24 hours.
You probably want me to say that you
don't know. Just like we men like each other. We like each understood. We always understood. We always
What's it? It's I don't think
I went to listen to the video. I come back to this. What is?
Did you like the video?
It's very.
Did you like the introduction? That was good with the disclaimer. Did you watch Nora's video?
I watched those.
It's in the chat. Check out. He's defending Epstein.
Listen. I just came out Eleanor. You know Eleanor? Eleanor.
Who's Eleanor?
Amir. You know her. The Zionist.
You talking about Eleanor? Eleanor?
Yeah. She had pictures with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, Norm.
I kick him out of my room now. I make him silly,
I don't know, bro. This guy is something else. Anyways, so Shane, you like the introduction? I think I should add some more to it, huh?
It was a high quality production.
I need to go up on the P, the 4080 P to 76720.
Brother, I just introduced myself. I'm a Palestinian from Naples. But you took it to a different level now. It looks like a
different level? More professional, right?
Yeah, more professional.
apps where you could do like a podcast?
Yeah.
And have like a fake news reporter.
So I have a question for you guys. I'm here. I have a question for you, bro. You see how you're knowledgeable?
Just cut somebody off.
Sorry.
You know, it's okay. I mean, your question's gonna be good. I know. Go ahead.
I hope so. No, it's not gonna be good. It's just gonna be a simple question.
Go ahead.
It's a simple question because I don't know what's going on, but like, is there really a genocide going on in Iran?
It's not genocide, but it's a massacre, you could say, but not genocide.
So like, I don't know because like, I don't know what to believe because I don't believe Trump or Netanyahu, but then people also told me not to believe the pro-Iran news channels too. So I'm just confused.
The problem is, it's this matter in Iran. It's very complex. A lot of the things we can't freaking rely on, but certain things. We've seen some videos. We can say that yes, they did torch on the mosque over there, and there are people that are protesting. They're really, truly protesters versus rioters. People that are like you have influence coming in from Mossad, you have influence coming in from CIA, you have influence coming from the Pahlavi supporters. So they, some of these people, they want this son of Shah to come back. Son of Shah lives here in America, and a couple days ago, he asked Trump, he was begging Trump that it's the last chance to, bury the IRGC, right? And a lot of these people, you'll see them, they support Israel and they support Iran. They support Reza Pahlavi to come back. And this guy, the son of Shah, hasn't been to Iran in about 40 years. Right? Doesn't have the credential, doesn't know how to fucking run the system, and he wrote a book on this recently, not too long ago. He wants to, he's going to be the transitioning body. He'll go in and he'll transition. So he's selling this fucking narrative to everybody that I'm just going to be the transition body. Look, I don't support IRGC or Reza Pahlavi, but I do not want to go from one dictator to another, especially American puppet. Pahlavi is an Israeli and American puppet.
Obviously, I'm not for Israel, fuck Israel for life, but like, what I've heard was that once the Islamic regime drops, there's gonna be a lot of U.S. sanctions gonna be removed. It's gonna be better ties with the Middle East or something like that. Do you think, or it's gonna be like Iran?
It's gonna open up a can of worms, like a different type of can of worms. They're gonna set up military base like what they're doing in Iraq. Iraq is still under occupation, and they're gonna chop that Iranian land into like 5-10 parts. Israel might take over some of the part, and they might even bomb the shit out of all the military bases, like what happened in Syria after they toppled Bashar al-Assad, which was a fucking genocide leader. Relate to the Reza Pahlavi will come around, and he'll be told to freaking put down everything. The hypersonic missile program, the nuclear program, the fucking the proxies, everything, all the defense, you gotta put it down. So you can't attack back, you can't fight back, you pretty much bend over and get fucked and raped in the ass. Which I'm against it.
Yeah, but what if they want to be fucked in the back? Why won't you let them? If that's what the people want.
That's true. But the thing is, Tiger, my position is very strong, and I hate these people. So forget about that. The other thing that that bothers me is Islamophobia coming out of these disgusting people's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So much Islamophobia all over the internet. Just like you had that guy from your side, he was spewing a whole bunch of bullshit about Islam. I had to remove him out of the room. Lion, do you want to say something? I mean, he's from China. Go on, Lion. Do you want to say something?
It's not from China.
Yeah, Lion wanted to say something. Go on.
A lot of the Iranian taxpayers' money is being used to attack Sunnis. The government of Iran, please let me finish. The government of Iran spends the Iranian people's money by giving it to the Houthis to attack Sunnis. So a new government in Iran will stop spending any taxpayer dollars on war on the Sunni. That means more money in the pocket for the Iranian people. Does anyone know Does anyone know who the Sunnis are?
Yeah, so Lion, by the way, I think your information is incorrect. Respectfully, I think you need to get your facts straight. I don't know where do you get your facts. I know you you buy into mainstream media bullshit, right? A lot of Americans have been indoctrinated. Some of the Americans, they're dumb retards. They're fucking dumbass motherfuckers. Don't have a clue what's happening in the Middle East. They just buy into mainstream media bullshit. They don't know the facts. When you actually look up the facts or you cross-check it with mainstream media and fucking even ChatGPT will tell you that what they're exporting on fucking TV is all bullshit. Even Trump said it is fake news, fake news. At least get your facts straight, man, instead of making up bullshit. You come up on the stage, and this is why I hate fucking bullshitters. And some of the Americans I came across, dumb retards, man. Fucking dumbass motherfuckers. Don't know shit about
I'm just confused. That's why I asked the question, because I'm so confused, right? Because I have Persian friends. They told me not to look at the pro-Iran news, but then they also told me not to listen to Trump. I'm like, who are you listening to when it comes to the media, then? Where are you getting your information from?
Nowadays, MJ, you gotta look at the Twitter, but the Twitter thing is you have to make sure to be careful because there's a lot of AI shit as well, and verified with the news sources. The way I look at, I'll give you an example. So when I'm talking about Israel or Palestine, so I look at Times of Israel, I look at Haaretz, and I even look at Jerusalem Post, and then I look at the Palestinian sources as well. So I'll give you one example. This happened to me, I don't know, a few months ago. There was one kid, they got arrested for throwing a rock at an Ideal truck. Now, Times of Israel reports say that, yes, he threw a rock at the truck. That's why he got arrested. But coming from Palestinian sources, like his dad testimony, he said, no, that's not true. They're claiming this and that. Nothing happened, blah, 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 and whatever. So then you got to find a common ground. The truth is hidden somewhere in the middle. Right? Put this and this together, and then you can probably say that, yeah, maybe there was something happened. That's why they arrested him.
So my Persian friends told me not to trust this girl named Bushra Sheikh, which is like probably, if they're talking so much shit about her, they're saying that she's a terrorist, sympathizer. Who is she? She's a broadcaster, right? A podcaster, and she went to Iran to report on it, and then...
Where is she on this app?
She's on Twitter. She's very known for, she's very outspoken.
Is she Iranian?
She's Pakistani, but she's a very big reporter.
Let me put up
from the UK. Bushra Sheikh.
She's from the UK. Is she Shia or Sunni?
I have no idea, but she is Muslim.
Bushra Sheikh. Just trying to find her profile.
I'll send it. I'll say, oh, by the way, you need to be careful. What you're doing is God's work. Amazing. I applaud you for that. But be careful because I read an article or something that some Mossad agents or some shit in your room.
Oh, that was made up. So Davey made it up. Did you see that posting? Did you see it?
What the fuck? Yeah, well, I got sent that in my DM saying, be careful. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, did you see the article? Yeah, so did you see it?
No, but I'm not
trolling. He must be trolling.
I got sent the article.
He's trolling, bro. He's trolling.
I actually got sent the article though.
I'm gonna back check you the picture.
I've seen it. Can you imagine that the Mossad is fucking wasting their resources listening to our stupid banter, bro?
Honestly,
It'd actually be a good distraction. Like, it's a good technique to have.
I'm not gonna lie, like, maybe I'm paranoid, maybe I'm doing this, but I feel like Rose, you're a good person. He spoke up for them. I feel like he's giving Mossad agent for some reason. I don't know why. Because like, how you live in Israel, but you're still standing up or being anti-Zionist?
You're getting Mossad vibes now.
Mossad agent vibes, bro.
The term we use in this room is that's a little Mossadi.
That's a little Mossadi, you know what I mean? Because like, how you gonna like? I don't understand. Because if you're anti-Zionist, bro, the first step you should do is get the hell out of Israel.
She was born and raised over there, so look at it. Prior to 48, there were Jews that coexisted, Muslims and Christians on that land. Okay. And so they were Jews that there were certain Jews that were against establishment of this state called Israel. Okay. And some people they went along with the Zionist narrative. And at one point, slowly, there's a small movement inside Israel that has become anti-Zionist. They want to coexist with Palestinians. So, like they did prior to 1948. So she wants to coexist with the Palestinian. But she's half Arab, and she's half, I don't know, I think maybe Mizrahi. She's half Arab. You know what Mizrahis are, right?
Yeah, Mizrahis are Arab.
They're Arab. Yeah, Mizrahis are Arab.
Oh, I mean, what's your background if you don't mind me asking?
I don't share this because there's somebody that's streaming my room right now. You see that red flower at the bottom? You see he's just streaming it directly on YouTube. I live rent free in a Zionist land. So he's a Zionist comeback. He was investigated by for the campaign fraud in one of the states. He was running for some mayor bullshit.
I'm blocked by Al Normal and Mr. Jeff from Clubhouse.
How did you get so lucky?
It's a badge of honor, I know. Because I posted this exact picture and they got offended.
Okay, but here, if you see Norm in any of the rooms, just save this link and give it to him. Tell him, why were you defending Epstein?
Someone told me that his wife is in the Epstein files. Al Normal's wife is in the Epstein files.
I don't know about that, but I put the link in the chat. You can save it and give it to Norm whenever you see it.
Honestly, my honest intention was to have him clarify and obviously state.
My evil intention was to expose him.
No, dude, I didn't.
This is fire. This is amazing.
My honest intention, I literally, when you told me what he was doing, like basically defending directly and indirectly Epstein, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no. I mean, he's not that kind of guy. And man, I was wrong, bro.
Yeah, but
I gave him so many chances to just simply clear the record.
I told you.
He refused.
Yeah.
I wasn't even trying to trap him. I was just trying to have an honest discussion where I'm like, come on, let's move on. You're a father. Like, we all know this is bad. Like, let's not tarnish his name. And he refused. He started saying, well, she was one day before her 18th birthday.
That was a lie. Anyways, Jindip is here. What's up, Jindip? Jindip, the shape is trying to protect the soul rat, called Norman Green. I put the video in the chat, Jindip. I would like you to check it out. I don't think you were in the room. He was defending Epstein, and it's coming from World Affairs Forum Protection Team.
I wouldn't say protect.
No, he was protecting that shit with his life.
Did you expect anything less? He was protecting or defending.
Maybe I'm an optimist, but I couldn't believe that there would be any man on this planet other than Epstein's lawyer.
There was another guy on Clubhouse in Mr. Jeff's room. Do you know who Mr. Jeff is? The Jeff Epstein on Clubhouse.
We know Mr. Jeff in Algeria. He's actually a Mizrahi Jew. We know him. He's a Zionist comeback, and he's a Islamophobe. He ran out of content. So he likes to mock religion. It's a normal thing. He has been here multiple times, and he thinks that I am beneath him. He only wants to talk to somebody with the American accent. That's what it is. So he's a disgusting animal. By the way, John Kitover, you can forward it to Jeff. All right, I know you're a son of a whore that likes to see him. Anyways, Jim, what's up?
How do you know this? How do you know they're recording?
We have intelligence. If you can kindly mute us, I want to talk to Jim for a second. Yeah, we have a team, full team behind the screen.
Are you hiding?
Not right now.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
How you doing, Jim? You okay?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Why? Something important. You're gonna tell me something important. What's up?
Something important was about the Norm defending Epstein, and then we have.
Man, you can use so much content with that. Like it's been at least 11 days you've been talking about that.
I think I watched Ellen Dershowitz talking about the same subject, and Ellen Dershowitz was making the same points, that he was not convicted of being a pedophile, but he was, basically having sexual affairs with a woman who was underage, a day shy of her 17th or 18th birthday, something to that effect. the twisted logic of lawyery conversation. So, but I don't expect anything less from the sewer rat from New York, the so-called El Normo. He's a sewer rat. He's the only person I blocked on this app. He's a sewer rat. He's disliked. He's despised. He's the kind of character.
I got blocked by him, so I got blocked by him, and it's a badge of honor, you know? It's a badge of honor because like he got so treated with his photo that he actually
Yes, no dog in the game. He's just, he's just what he is. He's just a filthy piece of shit.
Jason, who do you find more pervertedly problematic? El Normo or Amos?
No, Amos is crazy. He's an old man, but he's a decent guy.
You don't get perv vibes from Amos?
Oh, he's a privilege. He tells you up front that I'm a sick person. He tells you up front. He's always talking about that issue. But overall, I think he's a decent guy.
He's a simple guy.
Other than the pervert part.
Yeah, he's a pervert, yes. Other than he's okay. He's a decent person. He can get emotional.
He's a pervert.
It's okay.
Shake, why do you have a problem with perverts? I mean,
I really do have a problem with people like
we're not talking about Epstein level perversion here. We're not talking about normal perversion.
This garden variety old man perversion.
Yeah, you'll be there soon, you know.
Hey, no way. Oh, some of us have daughters. No way.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you had only sons. I don't know why I would have thought you had only sons.
Because I'm so manly.
No, that's not it at all. I'm trying to think of it. But Amos is not really the worst, the enemy. I think.
Okay, I want to ask you this question in a while. Who are your top 3 Zionists on Clubhouse?
To me, Zionism is the enemy, so I don't know if I have a top 3 unless you.
Okay, let me widen it. Top three Jewish people on Clubhouse.
Buttercup, Ambrose.
Wait, Ambrose is an anti-Zionist. Why are you saying?
I widened the criteria.
He's a Jews.
Your least favorite?
Top 3. Top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3. Okay.
And then we'll do Iranians. Although I don't think I know more than you talk about.
Taco is my number 3 Jew.
I could put Wayfan up there.
I'm joking.
Taco, Wayfan, and maybe another honorable mention.
Oh yeah, Taco, Wayfan, and
is Soren Iranian?
Nargis. Soren.
Oh, Nargis. Nargis is up.
Oh God, yeah. Please don't group me with those 2 guys.
The Soren he's got a personality on him. I like his personality.
I'm glad he's back.
Mozzie,
Mozzie, of course.
Nargis is a shapeshifter, people pleaser. So I would say Mozzie, Taco, and the top 3 on which is the other one? I think Wayfan is okay. He's very controversial. Yesterday he tried to trigger, Tiger and other people because he lives in Taiwan. He came for the China.
Well, Wayfan is also, I think, a scientist. So his thinking is, a little different. It's, some of those people are. He's very, involved in computer science and things like this. I think it was computer science, so might have been chemistry. So he's different.
Okay. So your top 3 is Buttercup, Ambrose, and Yaakov.
See, but they're Zionists. I don't.
You can't do a Zionist.
No, I used to, but now my rule is, we're at war with Zionism. We were at war with Israelis or Israel, Palestinians. But now I believe that we are at war with Zionism, and if we can destroy Zionism, then separate the two. My problem is Zionism has already changed. The definition of it has changed to most people around the world. So Zionism is already radical, and people perceive it as a radical ideology. So
there's something very kind of nuanced and tricky about adding radical X. Obviously it's happened with people in Islam, but like you create a word association, right? If you repeat it enough, you kind of say it's an emerging property of the X.
We can make it an ism, but it's already Zionism. It's already an ism.
No, but you see, when you say radical whatever, it kind of infers that the whatever has created it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like fighting fire with fire, you know?
True, but I think that only works really with like religion, and I don't know if it would work with ideology, because ideology is either radical or it's not. I could be wrong about that though.
But the problem that you have when you kind of take the position against Zionism is you have to like really go deep, because someone else will say, well, no, it's just a wish for a Jewish homeland.
Yeah, so that project hasn't been completed, so there's no need for Zionism then. That's why I changed my position on this.
Oh, so you create a you mean it's an implied neo-Zionism.
That's a good one.
Like it's a new kind of Zionism.
Yeah, neo-Zionists. That's good, I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
It's more technically accurate.
It is, and it's also get a wrap with these guys.
Only if you find us.
Zionism has not come to the idea, or the project of Zionism has not come to fruition yet, as of yet.
The Jews, or the Zionists, if they say it's just a creation of a Jewish homeland, then I would argue back, so the Zionism project is complete, so therefore, there's no need for a Zionist ideology. That's where, that's why I say it that way. You see what I'm saying as a talking point? I understand what he's saying. It hasn't, because their objective is not just Israel.
No, it's not that. Even within the boundaries of Palestine, Zionism is based, the idea of Zionism, and for it, Zionism is a project of settler colonialism. That's you can, you can say the objective, it is a project of settler colonialism. Zionism is being used as a tool, as a justification, creating a story that justifies the project. The story is that this land is for the Jewish people, and we know that, right? Now, why do I say that it hasn't come to fruition yet? Because in order for Zionism to prevail, three things have to happen. Number one,